drive, I got more drive than Mercedes. I never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what it's meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
gotta get it. I'm on the mission, snap any minute, casually winning. Stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me. Yeah, I got a dream, can't take it from me. My fire's burning, now I'm always learning. Tell me where to go, man, I'm on a journey. Yeah, I can't explain it, I get excited. Keep it 300, King Leonidas. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have the spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast, I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes, I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete, well get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what it's meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete, well get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my work. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
Today marks the beginning of the end. Our clans have fought tooth and nail to get to this point in the competition. Through the open bracket, the challenge season, and now just 4 clans remain. So, let's find our champion, shall we? It's time for the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals.
Dragon Pro Series, powered by Samsung Galaxy, is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Player on top, know it. Rooftop, penthouse suite. If you really want it, gotta own it. Fight through it, we was at the lowest. Blood, sweat, tears, the components. Riding all year, now's the moment. We are not friends, we are opponents. Yeah, I'm coming for mine. Yeah, I'm making a play, the game on the line. Yeah, I've been on the grind. Yeah, I jump in the spot, I made it my time. Yeah, look in the sky. Yeah, the stars align, no shade to shine. Can't stop it already. Emotional work and devotion. We put in this time. Look, you won't stop.
Hello and welcome to the Snapdragon Pro Series, your one-stop shop for the most nail-biting mobile esports competitions. My name is Barney Banks and I am your host, and joining me here are 2 legends of the Clash of Clans community right here on the cozy couches. It is, of course, Bash and Eric. Bash, how does it feel to be back in the studio?
Oh, Barney, we're back for Challenge Finals. It's going to be an amazing weekend of Clash of Clans action. We got 4 of the top teams here in NA, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do this weekend.
And you're, as usual, wearing the spiciest of shirts, which I'm so excited about. But Eric, I'm extremely excited to have you here as well, my friend. You're always so well informed, whether it's meta shifts or whether it's how our players are coping in the competitive scene. But we have to address the crater that is in the floor after the dropping of an update mere days before the Challenge Finals. Talk us through this update, my friend.
Absolutely. That new Overgrowth spell and the new Royal Champion equipment, plus a couple extra troop levels and defense boosts as well. It's going to have a little bit of impact, but honestly, I think that the meta is largely the same, and I think they're gonna be able to brush it off there pretty quickly and adjust on the fly. So I don't think it'll affect them too much here. I think that the teams will still play at the top level.
Okay, well, only time will tell. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty details of what to expect in the Challenge Finals, make sure you follow us across all of our socials. Just check the lower third of your screen so that you can choose which social channel that you use the most and choose which variation of ESL Mobile to use. We've got so many wars to come throughout this entire weekend, and there's so much action to get into. But if there's anything that you've missed, you can give yourself a cheeky recap of everything by watching the highlights on those social channels. Now, gentlemen, you braved the storm that was the challenge season. But for many of you at home that might have missed any of the action leading up to this point, or if you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, here is a format video to explain everything. Check it out.
Welcome to the 4th season of the Snapdragon Pro Series, where the best Clash of Clans teams in the world will battle it out with their respective regions to find out who is the best. Let's see how it all works. There are 4 phases: the Open Ladder, the Open Finals, the Challenge, and the Challenge Finals. In the first phase of the tournament, the Open Ladder, anyone and everyone can sign up with their squad to compete. The teams will draw random matchups to accumulate qualifying points in order to qualify for the next phase, the Open Finals. But with one catch. The teams who finish the ladder in 1st and 2nd place automatically skip the Open Finals and get invited straight to the Challenge, but more on that later. The next 16 teams, ranked 3 through 18, will be invited to a grueling double elimination bracket where the top 6 will advance to the toughest phase yet, the Challenge. These best teams from their regions will compete in a round-robin format, where every team will play a single war versus every other team. The 4 teams with the best records in the Challenge then get invited to the ultimate showdown, the Snapdragon Challenge Finals. One more brutal double elimination bracket will determine who is the very best of the best and award one team with a $20,000 top prize, the pride of their region, and the covetous title of the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Champions.
What a journey it has been, and it is almost at its end. Now, these wars can't be taking place for brownie points or a pat on the back. There is, of course, some cold, hard cash on the line. Bash, why don't you take us through our prize pool for the Challenge Finals?
Well, of course, these teams have earned some money on their way through here, but checking it out, we got our top prize of $2,250, 2nd place getting $2,000, 3rd place $1,750, and 4th place getting $1,500. So every team leaving here with a little bit of money.
And that's what we like to hear. But also, who doesn't want to be crowned the best in their region? That is, you know, at least going to give you a confidence boost going into some of the international competitions that will be happening later on in the year. But it's time to lay all of our cards on the table now, Eric, because we got to talk through our bracket. And so we can tell everyone at home who's going to be facing off first in this Challenge Finals.
Absolutely. SE Esports is definitely a big name to watch out for here. They're going to be taking on Method and Madness in the 1st round of the competition, followed by Underworld X and United Gaming. But these 4 teams have distinguished themselves, and this bracket is looking very, very similar to what we saw in Season 2 out in San Diego. So a lot of familiar names and a lot of familiar players right there.
I absolutely love it. We're living the dream because we're seeing a resurgence in some of these teams. Maybe some grudge matches forming or like a little bit of a revenge arc happening. Bash, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at our schedule today, it's a really jam-packed schedule here. SE Esports went undefeated throughout Challenge. Underworld X, we kind of didn't see enough of them. I wanted to see more of them, but they're going to go up against UG, and actually we'll have one of our finalists here today crowned in our 4th match when we play that upper bracket final. This is double elimination, so all teams essentially get 2 lives. We got a lot of Clash action this weekend.
Lots of Clash action indeed. Now on paper, Eric, I would have to say that obviously if we're looking at the Challenge season, if anything to go by, then this could be an SE Esports, or should be an SE Esports stroll in the park. But you got United Gaming waiting in the wings. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, United Gaming has more of the season championship victories than any other team in this entire competition. In fact, if you totaled up all the wins that they have of their individual players, it is more than every other player in this competition combined. So that team, in the past, has been the favorite, but then like you look at SE Esports and they're undefeated, but that was the same story the Empire had in Season 3, and then they got to the finals, and then they went 0-2. So you never really know what's going to happen here. Anybody could take this, but SC is currently, at the moment, looking like the favorite.
For taking everything into consideration as well, Bash, it has been a month since the Challenge season, so a lot can happen. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes, and even an update thrown in the mix, right?
Right. I mean, and that's the one wild card here is we just had this update that introduced some new defensive levels, introduced a brand new spell. So maybe, you know, some of these teams are trying to experiment with that spell and trying to figure things out. So it could throw them off their game. But taking a look at it, so our semifinal match number 1, SE Esports going up against Method Madness. We talk about this SE Esports team, Eric. These are the NA All-Star team, essentially. Van, BJG, Damien, Jesus, Max, and Pevu. This roster is stacked.
Yeah, absolutely. They took a lot of the same players that won Season 3 out in Seattle just a couple months ago, but then they grabbed one of the top players in North America. They picked up Jesus onto that team, so they got a monster roster. I'm not surprised at all that they're performing as well as they are right now, but their opponent is also very, very good, though. So you can't put anything past Method of Madness right there, because they're forced to be reckoned with as well, but I feel like they are going to be the underdog in this match.
Okay, well, yeah, we are setting the scene for our first match that is going to be coming up very, very shortly. SE Esports going to be taking on Method to Madness. Now, Bash, let's think about some individuals here from Method to Madness. Anyone in particular that we should be focusing on? Anyone that our viewers should be looking out for?
Honestly, this roster is really solid. Stay Away, Lord Kirk, really good anchors in their boon as well. But someone I want to keep my eye on is Grom. The Hog Riders are kind of his little specialty attack, and I want to kind of see how he uses these Hog Riders with the new update.
Absolutely, because the Hogs just got the new level, and he was using Hog Riders when they were off meta during the challenge phase of the tournament, and so being able to have the extra level right there, like, he could definitely do a lot more work with an attack that he's very familiar with.
I mean, we also have to take into consideration, don't we, that SE Esports have this kind of reputation to uphold. They have this expectation on their shoulders, don't they? And the fact that Method to Madness don't really have that, they can kind of go into this and just go, let's just go all out. Let's go no holds barred. Let's just attack. And like, is that kind of, do you feel like that kind of swings in the favor of Method to Madness there then, Bash?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're kind of the underdogs, I mean, let's be honest, anyone that was playing SE Esports was going to be an underdog, with maybe the exception of United, but even then, SE Esports beat every single team in the tournament. So why not just go out there, lay it all out, see if you could pull out that upset. Eric spoke about how we saw Empire go undefeated in the challenge phase and then go straight 0-2 rather, out of the tournament. So anything could happen. It is a very offensive meta, so all you have to do is just put up some stars, maybe catch a defense or two, and you might pull the upset.
Yeah, SE Esports also have that. They have that experience on the main stage, for sure. But Method to Madness, if they pull it out of the bag, let's be devil's advocate right here, Eric, right? If they manage to pull it out of the bag, do you see SE Esports making that recovery? Because you said when the expectations are on the shoulders, that's when things can go pear-shaped, as we say in the UK.
I'd like to think so, but you never know what's going to happen. But I would definitely say that they are one of the most consistent teams, and I think that consistency will be able to pay off in the long term, even if they take a loss. And that's why I love a double elimination tournament. So one mistake, which sometimes at Tunnel 16 right now, a single mistake is all that could cost you a war. But having that consistency over the long term, and then the base building team that they have, I really think will force mistakes on the other side and open up those opportunities.
Yeah, speaking of base building, we've already spoken about this as well off camera, but you said that SE Esports, that's been one of like their strongest elements coming into this competition. They've had like some significant defenses throughout the challenge season. Do you feel like the base builders have got way more pressure on their shoulders, especially in after this new update?
Well, they've had a month to prepare, but I don't know that the update is going to shift the meta enough to be able to like make so that they trashed all the bases that they already had and make them not good. I think a lot of times you just try to make like get them to force one mistake, the snowballs into another mistake and another mistake. And I think that the way that they set up their traps and their ability to predict their opponents and get them to walk into a trap has been a major strength. And you see that the defensive stats of SE Esports, even though they're putting up like a perfect war every war, it seems like, but you look at the number of points scored against them, and the teams typically score less against them than they do against other opponents. And so you can definitely see their base building coming into play right there.
Well, Bash, let's focus a little bit on Method to Madness, right? Because if we look at this on paper in terms of just purely results, it seems like they've had one of the more tougher times coming out of the challenge season and into the finals. They are here, though, so let's not like put them down too much. However, having said that, when you look at their actual results, the star count has been really close. So actually, they're only just being like pipped at the post. So from your perspective, what do you feel like they're lacking? Is there something in particular that they could be, getting better at, or do you reckon it's just silly mistakes?
I wouldn't even say mistakes. I mean, right now this meta is so offensive based. We've seen them put up 14-star wars and it just be neck and neck. But ultimately, when it came down to it, when they needed a win to get here, they came through and they did it. They made it happen. I believe they took on United Gaming in that last war, and they were able to lock up their chance to come here and play for the championship. So I think this team is pretty well-rounded. They have a lot of veterans. It's just really, you got to kind of overcome and force that mistake from your opponent.
And Eric, we've spoken a little bit about all this kind of grudge match, revenge arc that we're setting the scene for a little bit going into this competition, into the challenge finals. So do you feel like this is a possibility of, like, you know, United Gaming possibly like seeing SE Esports once again? How do you see this one playing out?
Well, so the last 2 seasons, in Season 2 and Season 3, the same players who now play in SE Esports and United Gaming met each other in the finals. They both ended up winning their upper bracket matches. They ended up going into the grand finals, and then they faced off in there, and we had some crazy, crazy matches. And so I think that that would be a very likely scenario to have that happen again, because they are playing at a little bit higher level than the other teams, and I think it would be an upset for the other teams to make it through right here. I'm not saying that that's the way it's going to play out. I'm saying that's the way it's played out in the past, and so we'll see if that happens again here. But I think that everybody will be having eyes on to see if that does happen again, because it would be a very interesting scenario, as they have been back and forth.
And a lot of the more kind of keen-eyed fans of Clash of Clans esports going into this are going to be thinking, are we going to see some overgrowth? What are we thinking, Bash? Are you thinking it's going to happen? Because mastering a spell, especially like this, that a lot of the pros are kind of saying that ideally we can use this for pathing, but then it creates all sorts of issues later on in the attack. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's a really interesting spell. I think there are going to be some use case for it, but I think it's going to be very base specific. I don't think this is going to be something you're just bringing to bring. There has to be a specific reason you're bringing that into the battle. Will we see a lot of it? I don't think so. I think we might see a few uses of it here and there, but I think for these teams to be successful, I think they need to stick to their bread and butter. Try not to get cute. Don't overthink it. Just go with what works. You already know what works at Town Hall 16, so don't kind of stray too much from that.
Oh, well, let us know in the chat if you're thinking that there's going to be some overgrowth usage. And if there is, we've all got to go absolutely crazy, because this update literally dropped days ago before the challenge finals. And if some of the pros are already using it, that is crazy. But it is about that time. Grab the popcorn, switch off the lights, because it is game time. We are about to see SE Esports go up against Method to Madness to kick off the NA finals of the challenge finals. You know what I'm saying. Bash, Eric, get up and get yourselves over to the desk. This is going to be a spicy one to kick things off for the challenge finals.
Here we go, guys. SE Esports taking on Method to Madness. Now, I did misspeak a little bit. Method to Madness, I don't think actually beat United Gaming, but they put up the 14 stars they needed against United Gaming just to get that right. So they didn't necessarily pull the upset, but they did what they needed to get here and punch their tickets. So I think Method to Madness is a very capable team, but man, the way SE Esports has been playing, it's going to be so tough to overcome them.
They got to find defenses. Like, that's going to be the difficulty here, is the preparation that happened before they even stepped onto the field here. Because if they can find a couple of opportunities, if they can find even just one defense against SE Esports, then that would be a very big deal. But ladies and gentlemen, let's kick this off here. Method to Madness is underway. It is Grom kicking us off with a little bit of lightning, a double clone, and the Hydra maxing out that King equipment right there with the level 27 Giant Gauntlet, and also running the Healer Puppet. Healer Puppet has been very, very strong with the Dragons to be able to get the extra support on the flank of the Dragons there to make sure that they stay central and working with that King. But there we go. We got the Royal Champion running the Royal Gem and the new Haze Vial. So some new stuff from the update right out of the gate here, Bash.
Yeah, here we go with the Clone Bomb onto the Town Hall to take it all down. Ooh, great use of the clone. Gets a nice little spread there. That Haze Vial will speed up the Royal Champion and make her go a little bit quicker when paired with that Spirit Fox. Can be really nicely. Now, the one thing about this attack is he's pretty much all in here. I talked about Grom and hoping to see some Hogs, but I don't mind seeing some Dragons, some Hydra here, as Grom goes ahead and brings in the Royal Champion from the top. That core is pretty much gutted from the blip. Now he's just got to kind of thin out the back end here, Eric.
Yeah, watch that defensive Queen there when the Royal Champion approaches, because she can pop her Haze Vial right there and get through the defensive Queen much, much easier. She does. She pops a little bit early there, gets the Queen down, double damage with a double attack speed right there. And it also, let's keep in mind that when you use the Royal Gem and the Haze Vial together while you're not getting the extra protection of something like the Hog Puppet, you do actually get the extra damage enhanced by the speed that the Royal Gem provides. And so there's actually a very, very, very strong combination right there. The Dragons are easily clean up the backside of the base there. The Royal Champion got just far enough there, and the Queen walking along the edge of the base there turns into a Queen charge with a Healer Puppet, and it's a walk in the park for the rest of the attack here. He just needs to keep the speed up here, because with the track record of SE Esports, if we do end up with a double perfect war, then time is the tiebreaker. So looks like he's missing one ability that they go back for.
Tower.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a few seconds there, but still, it's going to come in sub 1 minute remaining, and so he's going to be able to get it done pretty fast there as we pass it over to SE Esports.
A very nice opener for Grom. That's what you got to do against SE. You can't have an opening miss, and we saw Grom using almost essentially all Hog Rider attacks during the challenge, but with the new update and the new Archer, or the new Healer Puppet kind of coming into play with the Queen and the Haste Valve for the Royal Champion, the Hog Rider attack gets through and is very successful. Method to Madness up 3-0.
Yeah, well, it's got to see a response here. That's what we're looking for here, to see if they are able to stay pace all the way through, because I would expect that SE Esports is going to respond with a triple here. If they don't, then that's what we're waiting to see, because we have to see if the preparation, if the bases were good enough to be able to get them through. And because they're going to be attacking a little bit fast here, then there's going to be a little bit of time in between attacks here, and that's the goal. Like, you got to keep the speed up, and you need to do that early into the war. I think as you watch a lot of the top-end Clash of Clans Esports right now, it's not enough to triple when you're going against a team like this. You have to triple fast so you can keep your average attack time down.
And we'll have to keep an eye on the base styles being used. We saw like more of a centralized anti-2 style base right there, but will that come into play? Will that still be a thing moving forward in the war? We'll have to see which types of bases all of our teams are using here today as that base meta kind of develops with the new update. Again, like you said in the opener, Eric, nothing crazy significant. We did get new scattershot levels, new Inferno levels, stuff like that, but for the most part, it is still going to be a very offensive meta.
Yeah, I think we are looking at the numbers of the scattershot damage, for example, and when Town Hall 15 was max, then the scattershot damage was 200 damage per second. Then when Town Hall 16 released, they nerfed it down to 185, and then they just added the new level and bumped it back to 190. So it's actually, even after the new levels of defenses there, they're still technically weaker than they were when Town Hall 15 was max. So it remains a very, very offensive meta, and now we're going to see if the triples are going to be coming rolling in as BJG Baller starts us off here. A little bit of Lalo. We do see the Giant Gauntlet. We do see the Healer Puppet again on the Queen. And that's pretty typical with these hero dives. When we run the Queen charge, a lot of people are switching to Frozen Arrow. But during the hero dives, a lot of these pro players are looking for the Healer Puppet to try to maximize that value.
All right, BJG sending in the heroes here. The Queen's going to go in over towards that enemy King. King is going to go ahead and work through that enemy, our Queen right there on that far side. Clan Castle troops are pulled out, so the Queen will be able to deal with that Lava Hound without issue here. Enemy King goes down, so that'll also free up a little bit of pressure on her. And now he's just going to work through here. Does have that Ice Golem. Ooh, King gets it down with it going to Phoenix, so that's a very nice use of the King in that compartment. Now the Royal Champion will join the party, just looking to thin everything out on this far side. Also a little bit of cleanup behind BJG. Well versed in the Lalo, and it looks like a couple of these guys might be together as I see maybe someone next to him there. Let's see how things work.
Yeah, what was interesting there is he put that skeleton spell down to try to protect his Royal Champion, but the Ricochet cannon ended up targeting her, gets the Spirit Fox down very, very early, so definitely not getting the value out of the Royal Champion that he would have hoped for. And he does get all the way to the sweeper there, so those balloons that were lagging behind are going to start to catch back up now, but that delay, as they got knocked back a lot there, did hurt that group there pretty significantly, and the Queen's going to have to pick up the slack here as she pops her ability, generates the healers, and will have to power through the wall, because this monolith area, I feel like the monolith area is the most significant area that needs to go down here to the balloons, and then the Queen might be able to handle the rest there, and it looks like he's got that under control here as the balloons do barely make it through that.
Yeah, Archer Tower is dealing a lot of damage here. Queen is still very healthy. Archer Tower will go down the multi-Archer Tower, and now it's going to be a three-star for BJG Baller. I want to see if we kind of get a little bit of a wider shot here. I was thinking that's Damien next to him. I don't want to say it, but that's my thought process here. Maybe our team starts to get together, since we don't have a traditional land, maybe they're kind of creating their own. But it is the 3-star response for BJG. Did you see the time on that by chance, Eric?
I did. It was about, I think it was like just about a minute remaining. I think they're very, very close on time.
Really close. Gotcha. All right. That's something to keep an eye on, because remember, the war will be decided by stars first. And then if stars are tied, it'll go to percent. And then if stars and percent are tied, it'll come down to time. So that's what Eric was talking about previously, is time could be a big factor in all of these wars.
Absolutely, and that's why they're going in with the hero dives, like the hero dives with either lightning attacks, skelly donuts, or just a straight up hero dive into just the mass Lalo that we just barely saw. Like those style attacks there are going to be some of the faster ones in the meta. The Root Rider attacks can also be really fast there. The attacks that are like multi-phase and involve like a very long queen charge, those ones end up being rather slow, even though they can be more powerful. And I think that's something that we have to definitely take account for as we make our way through, because if you end up going slow, it could end up costing you an end. So I think at the very beginning of the war, at least, until you see whether somebody's going to end up with a miss or not, you do got to keep the pace up there. So if we start to get into a situation like that, then they are prepared and they already have an advantage.
Yeah, and with BJG, basically having about 53 seconds remaining on the clock, I'm pretty sure that Grom had about 1:03, so I think technically Method of Madness has a slight edge there. Again, a lot has to happen for that to matter, but it is something I think we're going to be monitoring more than we normally would throughout our challenge finals this weekend.
Yeah, just because we've been seeing so much of it, and with the meta being so offensive right now, is something that you definitely have to have in the back of your mind. Like you talk to like all the top pro teams in the world, and most of them are saying that like you got to start off the war, at least that first attack or two with some fast attacks, just to put the pressure on, because sometimes when you start to pull ahead, it does play mind games with them, and if they continue to triple like that and you start to fall behind, they will then try to force an attack to go extra fast to try to make up for that time, and then they start to make mistakes.
Speaking of a fast attack here, Root Riders with Valkyries, this attack is pretty much create a baby funnel, send it all in, and it goes so fast. You're gonna have those Root Riders working right up the middle with the Valkyries, and we kind of talked about this in the challenge, where the synergy is so nice for these true troops. The Root Riders will open up all the walls, which will allow the heroes and the Valkyries to surge forward and just take out the base. We do see the new haste vial there on the Royal Champion. Ice Golems are a common defense against this, just to slow down those Root Riders in the core. So John's going to have to work through the middle of this core, as his king kind of took a little bit of a outside path. Royal Champion is already in. Now it's all going to come down to how he can finish on this Town Hall.
King's doing good work, though, getting the scatter shot and a multi-arch tower on the left side. Royal Champion's got that, so the same targets dealt with on the right side. Everybody else going right up the gut of the base there, but he did not get the final walls open. But I think the Queen should attack the walls there very soon. And with the log launcher at level 5 now, with the new update, he should be able to power through that wall pretty quickly and get the Queen into there. And he does have the archer puppet on the Queen, so she's going to get a lot of HP recovery right there with the double giant bomb going off right there. She definitely needed a little bit of extra HP, and she might have died right there with a frozen arrow, so got to keep that in mind here. But the Royal Champion keeps on moving. She still has her ability, and with that ability, she'll easily clear out the back of the base there, and she could even clear it out even faster with a different ability there. But watch the surge as she pops it right about here, and she'll cross the base there with the haste and get through over to the left side there a little bit faster. But he's got all the defenses down. He's got to get it cleaned up here as quick as possible, and he didn't bring any additional cleanup troops there that can drop in late, but the Royal Champion doing some great work there, surging across the top of the base there, and that's where the new equipment can actually not only benefit your ability to triple, but also just making so that you can get a little bit of cleanup done faster as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about this attack. You don't necessarily need to bring a bunch of cleanup because it clears out the base so quickly. Now it is taking a little bit to clean up the back end here. We'll have to keep an eye on that time, but John will get the 3-star as the Royal Champion and the remaining heroes come through to finish off this last storage. About 46 seconds remaining on the clock. We have another 3-star for Method of Madness.
I've been talking about, as we were getting ready for this match, how strong the defenses have been for SE Esports, where they have been able to stop a lot of teams from being able to get a lot of stars against them. But Method of Madness is starting off very strong, and they're looking confident right now. That attack was just a full send, and it was a very confident approach into the base there, where you can just drop everything and just know that those Root Riders are going to be able to make it all the way through the base there. Good control of his heroes all the way through. The King, like you said, did split off, but it's not a huge deal there as long as the bulk of the heroes get into the core of the base and can cross through and assist with the Town Hall takedown.
Yeah, as long as you use your spells properly and you get most of those roots in the middle with those Valkyries, you can really just gut out the middle of that base. And that's all you're trying to do. Gut out the majority of the middle of the base, where we see a lot of those heavy hitting defenses, and then a lot of times those heroes are going to surge through and finish the base off like we see there. So you don't necessarily need the roots to stay up at the end. Obviously that'll be ideal for like just crazy fast attacks, but really you just need the Roots and the Valks get in the middle and just gut that out. So a very nice attack for John. 6-3 for Method of Madness. SE Esports has to keep pace now.
Yeah, I'm loving these Valkyrie attacks, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see Valkyries in the meta for such a long time, and the Root Riders have really, really given them exactly what they need to make a comeback in the meta, and that combination has been really strong. I see a lot of people that end up attacking my own bases in like Legend Link and stuff like that, trying to mix the Witches with the Root Riders, and it's just not the same effectiveness. The Valkyries and the Root Riders have an enormous amount of synergy. Love to see that attack there, and being so strong in the meta, I feel like it almost needs another nerf to the Root Riders, because with that update that we just got, the Root Riders did take a nerf. They lost 600 HP off of their total, and speaking of which, so we saw them losing some HP, and we saw the Super Barbarians lose a bunch of their HP as they got nerfed as well, and Max is going to break them out here. It looks like we got a level 24 giant gauntlet there, and I'd imagine that this would be some kind of a blimp to sail across the base here to go and drop in maybe super archers. Maybe not though, because he's going to do a Yeti bomb out of this, isn't he?
Yeah. No frozen or no invisibility, no clones, so no super archers on this one. He does have the frozen arrow on the Queen, the newest epic equipment in Clash of Clans. Pretty traditional setup there for the Royal Champion. Here comes the freeze to make sure that invisibility tower doesn't go off, but there is a tornado here.
Okay.
This could cause some drama. Keep an eye on this in
Watch that King, watch that King. Oh. Town Hall doesn't go down, but wait, the King strikes the building next to it, and the giant gauntlet splash damage backwards and ends up taking it down. So lucky break right there. Good thing he's got that giant gauntlet there to be able to get that splash damage. Otherwise, that would have been a lot of trouble here, but he left up a couple of rocket blues at the core of the base there. Lava Hound burst, and the Royal Champion doing her best to chase those down right now. A little bit of drama right there, but looks like he's overall keeping it alive here. Royal Champion staying nice and safe behind those Root Riders smash.
Ooh, and this one is cooking. Look at this time. This Royal Champion now getting through here does have the Seeking Shield, so throws her Seeking Shield. And look at the time on this one, Eric. It's going to be about 1.5 minutes plus. 1:35 remaining. Wow, what a quick attack for Max.
Yeah, I love to see it. And with the whole team there right there playing together, you can see their reactions as they go through. And it's all smiles over there for SE Esports, as that one was definitely cooking fast. But obviously they still have a very, very long way to go here, and they got to sustain that speed, but that is going to make up for that slight time disadvantage that they got in the first exchange, and they will now pull ahead here on time, but obviously that only matters if everybody continues to triple.
Right, and remember on John's attack, John's heroes had to go all the way back and come all the way through the base. Again, we got 6 attacks before that even matters a little bit, but it is fun to keep up with it. If my numbers are right, I mean, with that being 1:35, that should gain them like a 40-second advantage here. Again, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm excited about it. You know, we all want the thought of a Tide War going to time. That's just so exciting, but it's just, like I said, we're going to keep an eye on it this whole weekend just because the offense is so crazy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just something that they have to have. They have to be conscious of it, because you don't want to be caught later in the war. They're trying to make up for that. That was my point.
Yeah.
So they have to, especially at the beginning of the war, until we see somebody potentially make a mistake, because once somebody makes a mistake there and ends up even with missing a single building, then time instantly would go out the window. But until then, they have to be aware of it, and they have to put the pressure on the other team, because I think that's when most of the mistakes are being caused, is when one team gets significantly ahead on time, and then it forces the other team to switch strategies to maybe something suboptimal, and then it might force a mistake on them. So then they end up going into a snowball, and they're trying to recover time, and they end up losing out on the star and the percentage, and then the other team can lay off on time. You know, it ends up it's a full-on mind game right there, and it's all about these initial attacks here to set it up.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things also is like with this new update and how offensive things are, all it takes is that one little mental slip up, and if it's a 99, it's crazy that we have the thought that a 99% could cost you a war. I mean, you start trailing behind there, anything could happen. We have a lot of war to go here, but these two teams are firing on all cylinders. We have nothing but 3 stars so far here in our challenge finals. 4 3 stars to start us off here. Method Madness is up next. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx anything, but they are looking really good so far.
You literally just jinxed them by saying that, but here we go.
Yeah. I think we've been jinxing both teams the whole war.
All right, well, it's going to be another dragon attack here. Looks like we got recall, we got double clone, and we got a little bit of lightning that we can use to take out a sweeper. The queen will deploy on the far right side, going into the air defense. Going to probably recall her out of there before she takes any significant amount of damage, but just let her get that area cleared out there, and before she gets threatened, make so that you can pull her out, and then she can get deployed somewhere safe, and then I guess go ahead and... Oh, wait, she pops her ability already? You can recall those healers, though. Right?
Yeah, he can recall the healers.
Oh, we lost two.
They got taken out. That's the one thing with the healer puppet is it puts them in kind of awkward spots there. Now, one thing we talked about was the Root Riders got a nerf, but almost all dragons got a buff on hit points. So that's why we're starting to see a little bit more dragons. I mean, dragons were already pretty good before they got buffed, but they all gained just a little bit of hit points here. Kirk should be sending this blimp in here. We do have the 2 clones like his teammate used, so let's see if he can get this Town Hall down. One thing to keep an eye on is that invisibility tucked behind the Town Hall.
So one thing I was kind of surprised about here is I don't see a rage gem on that warden. I see a healing tome on him, and that's very surprising because I would have expected a rage gem when we don't have any rages that are actually going to the dragons. All the spells are going for that blimp. He clones. Did he clone dragons right there?
Yeah, a couple of dragons got ahead and cloned.
Is that okay? Is that usually if I clone dragons, I feel like it's a mistake.
Yeah, I think he wanted the balloons to clone over to the invisibility tower and the mono. So we'll keep an eye on if that plays a factor, as the heroes are going to have to sweep all the way through the base now. He still has dragons, and the dragons are doing a great job thinning out the middle. So I don't know that it's going to be a big issue for him, especially with the king still having ability. Remember, the queen did have to go to ability early, but with Royal Champion yet to be deployed, I think Kirk can get away with this.
Maybe. I guess we'll see. The king's going to pop his ability surge around there. Remember, the queen already burned her ability earlier, so the king has to get the defensive Royal Champion down right there, and he's got it under control there. He's got his giant gauntlet. He's not only going to clear that, but he's going to turn and maybe attack the wall, but he'll, at a minimum, provide tanking in the area for the Royal Champion. The dragons are still alive. So what kind of Royal Champion equipment we got here? Because that could have a big impact on the back end. Looks like he goes invisible right there. Like, if she's got a Seeking Shield, then she could pop that air defense there a little bit early, but a Haze Vial could also do some good work. Now she gets targeted by the mono. She's starting to take some damage there, and he does pop it. It is a Seeking Shield, and he gets that invisibility tower to pre-trigger, and that's going to have a big impact on the outcome here.
Ooh, keep an eye on her, though. The Spirit Fox went down, so she's going to go down now. It's going to be pretty much on these dragons to sweep in and get this monolith.
Queen,
wait, that wall's open, so the queen can sneak in there. Wait, yeah, this is fine. Is it? Kirk is fine. Oh, wait, time. Keep an eye on the time, Eric. 18 seconds. Oh, there's some skellies. Uh-oh.
All right, well, the king's going to get the Wizard Tower down with the Phoenix picking him back up there. The queen and the dragons will step over.
Okay.
There's not a lot of time left here, but it's a triple, and that time is very, very slow. 5 seconds remain, but a triple is a triple, and that keeps him in the running.
Ooh, I was worried about that being a time fail. We talked about it before with the time fails, but with that being 5 seconds remaining, that is one of our slower attacks of the war. Actually, by far the slowest attack of the war. This one was fine. I think just those dragons got out ahead. I think he wanted those clones to go over, maybe even get that invis down, maybe even get the monolith, at least get some damage on there, but that just did not happen for Lord Kirk as the dragons got a little too far out in front of his battle blimp.
Yeah, you definitely want to get those down. Like, that's like one of the biggest advantages of using clone, especially when they put a monolith near the town hall. But the invisibility tower does make that a little bit tricky, and when the dragons are right there on the tail of the blimp, then they can step up there and you can have that happen. It definitely costs him some time, but at least he was able to pull off the triple there, and that's the most important thing there. Like, we say time is so important, but making sure you get triples is a lot more important right there. So they'll be happy with that, even though they are going to be significantly down on time, and time's still going to make a big factor here. But Damien going to go in here and try to keep the triples rolling in for SE Esports. Lots of lightning takes out the monolith, the multi-arch tower, and the Eagle Artillery, and he'll use that as a funneling point here for his heroes to dive in.
Does have that healer puppet. We're starting to see a little bit more healer puppets. Giant Gauntlet wasn't quite maxed on the king there. The healer puppet is very nice. Healing Tome on the Warden, which will help out the balloons a little bit when he uses that ability. So some nice, interesting choices here for Damien. And then the Royal Champion traditional equipment for her with the Seeking Shield. Kind of seems like teams are just kind of between the Haste Vial and the traditional equipment for the Royal Champion. Keep an eye on this queen, because remember, when she does use her ability, she will spawn 3 healers. The one issue with that is they kind of spawn in an awkward spot, but it's going to look to get this enemy queen and push these heroes in.
Watch that single Inferno locked onto the king right now. has a super wall breaker. He could attempt to send that in there, get the queen and the king a little bit of support there, but he's going to be engaging the CC, puts down a poison on the CC, pops the queen ability, generates the healers, and healers are in an okay spot here. One of them is going to tank for the single Inferno for just a moment. The queen fights through, but I don't think she's going to survive for very long though. But Lalo will go in, will get the blimp protected so we can go and secure the town hall. Spinning around for a little bit there, but a freeze gets the area locked down, and he will make his landing. And overall looking pretty decent here. Just needs to get these balloons over the left side here to finish off that arch tower. They do get it. And up top here, watch that defensive row champion. She's a major threat. Look at the headhunters. They're charging through. Headhunters get targeted. They do not get to her in time. Ashley was running off chasing the hound. And the row champion is out of control right now. And he needs to find an answer.
Does have his royal champion that can go through there. Great freeze on the scatter shot just to protect as many of those balloons as possible. Keep an eye on this royal champion. Remember, she does not have the haste vial, so she'll have a seeking shield, which can be used, but keep an eye on these singles as well. Oh man, that royal champion did so much work to all of his offensive troops here. Still got some balloons, still has royal champion with seeking shield here. Here goes that seeking shield getting thrown. Does not skip over to the other single target Inferno. Let's see if she ignores the RC. Oh, she goes into the poison.
Okay,
oh boy.
come on.
Oh, Diggy!
Diggy passed off from the Warden, gets the assist for the Royal Champion, and even though she had the Spirit Box, I think she would have been fine either way there, but the Diggy taking the stun there ensures that he makes it through. It is going to take a little bit of time to clean up here, but it is another triple, and they will sustain their advantage on time as the triples continue to roll in.
Diggy with the stone cold stunner to stir up this attack. Ooh, that was a close one for Damien. That royal champion just refused to go down, and that was almost an issue, but he was still actually faster than Lord Kirk there. About 30 seconds remaining on the attack. We are perfect thus far for both teams, but SE Esports does appear to have a slight time advantage.
Yeah, that would have been a lot closer if that, like the defensive row champion took out a lot of troops there. It took out the Warden. Woo. If that defensive row champion would have got the lock on to the offensive row champion before she went to the single Infernos, I think we'd be looking at the first miss of the war right there. But yeah, Diggy taking a stun right there. It's interesting when you do have the Spirit Fox though, because I don't think a single Inferno, I think it takes longer than 4 seconds for it to charge up there. So it can never go full beam on a row champion as long as the Spirit Fox is live, because she will fade before it can get all the way charged up, and that keeps her protected through those significantly more, and it is a pretty good counter to it.
Yeah, but I think Spirit Fox was down at that point, so...
Oh, it was still live. Was it? It survived to the end. Yeah.
Well, either way, Diggy came up, stunned it, so it didn't matter. Gets through, and it is another 3-star. It is 9-9 for these two teams. Who's going to blink first, Eric? That's going to be our question. Who is going to blink first in this back-and-forth war? 3-star after 3-star after 3-star so far.
Absolutely, but that's kind of what we expected out of these teams. I mean, Method of Madness came to play here, and you always see, it always just seems like whenever we get into the challenge finals, that teams just step up their game to the extreme, and they know what's on the line here. They want that title, they want that prize money, and now let's see who's going to get it here as we go in with the 4th attack out of Method of Madness, as Boone diving in with the Twin Hogs. Queen Charge Twin Hogs just got the new level of the Hog Riders, which obviously is going to affect and give Super Hog Riders an extra level as well. But he will go ahead and set up with the Frozen Arrow Queen Charge here. Like we said, a lot of people running Frozen Arrow for the Queen Charge attacks, and then a lot of people also switching over to the Healer Puppet for the non-Queen Charge attacks, for the Hero Dives. But we'll see what Boone can do here as he wraps off the left there, looking to aim towards that Town Hall.
Ooh, very, very close. I was keeping an eye on these healers, because if that scatter shot locked onto the healers, could have been devastating, but he just had the spacing perfectly on that so that the healers don't get targeted. The Queen's going to go ahead and try to charge all the way over to this Town Hall. Should be able to pull off the Clan Castle troops as well. Does bring in a Siege Barracks. Remember that, Eric, the Siege Barracks also got to change. Look at that. 2 P.E.K.K.A.s now come out, which is a lot of free housing space. 25 extra housing space there to give those Wizards extra protection, and that makes so the Wizards get way more value with that tanking down in front of them without having to invest like the King or something over there. But the Queen taking a little damage there from the Poison Tower onto her healers, but that should be okay there as long as he gets the Coco Loons down. It looks like he was able to get the bulk of the traps there around the Town Hall cleared out there. The Queen is clear for landing. She will step in there and take it without an issue, but here comes the Super Hog Riders directly to the core of the base there with the, I guess, running the
the Apprentice Warden, which will make so that he can run a healing tome here instead of running the Life Gem, which is a very, very smart way to run the Hog Riders in general. But holding on to the bulk of his regular Hog Riders to give flank support there, always going to be a good idea.
And it's not like you bring a ton of regular hogs on this, just a handful, just to keep those super hogs working through the middle of the base. He did have regular hogs inside of that siege barracks and timed it up perfectly. Once that siege barracks was ready to deploy the hogs, he was ready to deploy his super hogs. Keep an eye on the Royal Champion as she's going to start picking off some of these hog riders. Needs his Royal Champion to catch up and help them out a little bit. But those super hogs are doing some nice work. Queen is still alive there with ability. This is looking really strong for Boone.
Very, very strong here. And on top of that, I don't know if you noticed, but he had a max level Haze Gem that he's gonna pop right there. Royal Champion surging across the base there. The Haze Gem giving her so much movement speed, so much attack power, easily sweeps out the back end, and the Hogs go the distance on this one. Method of Madness gonna leave only 30 seconds on the clock here, but I think after the last one, they're so far behind on time that I think they just need to make sure that they triple this last attack, and they gotta pray for a defense right now. The pressure's on to be able to sustain their triple streak there on SE Esports.
I kind of agree with that, Eric. I think they're going to need a mistake for SE Esports. One thing I really like what I'm seeing from Method of Madness is they're really taking advantage of the update. We saw buffs to dragons. They've used 2 dragon attacks. We saw a new level to Hog Riders. We see a Hog Rider attack right here. So they're really playing into their strengths and taking advantage of this update. Not to mention the siege barracks with the extra P.E.K.K.A. So great realization of where some of those strengths of this update came from. Yeah, Root Riders are still going to be really good. Lalu's still going to be really good. But this update opened up even more offensive attacks.
Absolutely, and I love to see that new Royal Champion equipment as well. I have noticed that we're seeing a lot, like when we get these new pieces of equipment, I'm always watching to see what the pros do as far as which ones they are upgrading. And the first thing that I've noticed is everybody's either using the Royal Gem with either Seeking Shield or the Haste Vial. And that makes me think that maybe that Hog Puppet that everybody was kind of hyped about. I was personally hyped about it. I thought that was going to be a no-brainer for everybody to toss in, but we see very, very few of the pro players using it, even though I know that a lot of them have already gemmed it to max there. So, I mean, this is very, very good insight for the rest of us to pay attention to what they are upgrading, because that will probably tell you your best in slots depending on how you want to use it.
Well, the Haste Vial is also really nice when you pair it with the Spirit Fox, because if you could time that up, and we've seen it where that Haste Vial just comes in so clutch that RC gets moving, she gets attacking faster. It's just a nice combination. Look at this one from Finn, bringing in tons and tons of super barbs around the outside of the base just to set up the padding here for the Queen to go into the middle of the base. He does have a Lalo for the back end here as we take a look at the hero equipment. Does have that healer puppet. A lot of times when we're seeing these hero dives, we're seeing that healer puppet on the Queen now. We do have a couple balloons and the lava hounds out of the clan castle, and this log launcher should open everything up. Traditional equipment on the Royal Champion.
I think he was trying to get the Seeking Shield plus the Earthquake to hit that multi-inferno in the core of the base there, but the log launcher with the Royal Champion working together, we're able to get the pathing for the Yetis to pop out. They get the multi-inferno down. If they get the Eagle Artillery down, that would be enormous value right there. But they're going to fall just short of that, and he will get the multi-arch tower. The Queen's heading that way, though. Watch the Queen right here. She has all the buildings on her left side there cleared out with what the King was able to do, and so she's going to take that log launcher path into the core, and she's going to be in a prime position to get a ton of value out of her ability. And I guess we'll just have to see if she keeps those healers safe there. I don't think they're going to stay safe there, but I don't think it matters that much there. I think also that the passive healing that is generated by the healer puppet, regardless of the healers themselves, is actually able to keep her alive for a pretty significant amount of attack there. But look at this Queen. She's turned it into a charge right there. If he rages her healers right there, she gets the Town Hall down.
Yeah, she's going for this Town Hall no matter what. He's keeping this rage tower frozen. Oh, wait, Queen went down here, so now the balloons are going to have to circle back. Oh, boy, SE Esports. They could be in a little bit of trouble, Eric.
Watch that Town Hall takedown. Warden stepping up here. Warden is going to get the coverage for the blast. He's got the Life Gem. Does he have Life Gem? Is that what it was? He took a lot of damage right there. Oh, maybe it's Healing Gem.
Yeah, they're
healing tome. Yeah, he's healing, but he lost a lot here, Bash.
All right, here we go. It's all on the King and these last few balloons. King still does have Phoenix, and King's getting healed up a little bit, but keep an eye on this multi-archer tower as it's dealing out significant damage. Does have a couple super barbs here. This might be okay, because remember, they're fine on time.
Look at this Warden. Look at this Warden working on that multi-archer tower. That's a critical defense, and Warden takes that. I think he's got it. Warden clutches it before their defense has a chance to shoot him down. That's going to be a little bit of a slow cleanup here, but I think he's got it under control with the King having access to everything else on the base.
Yeah, and King is getting healed up there from those healers. Yeah, nothing can even deal damage to the Warden aside from a trap, so it's going to be slower, but Van is fine. They were already up on time. It was a close call here. Van has to be sweating a little bit, but with 20 seconds remaining, he gets the 3-star. Slight scare for SE Esports, but ultimately it's another 3-star.
Yeah, I don't know that he would have made it there if that multi-archer tower didn't go down. Like, he really played that one close right there. And that tornado trap just catching the balloons. I feel like if he would have reallocated the rage that he used onto the Queen, instead of putting it onto the balloons there, then she could have got the healing boost, like right here. If he raged the Queen right there, then she would have been able to take the Town Hall before the balloons, and he could have just turned it into a Queen charge right there. A big opportunity, but it's really hard to spot things like that while you're in the middle of attack, and it's not even what you originally planned for. But that Warden right there, clutching that multi-archer tower, and then staying alive all the way to the end there. There was a lot of potential for that air defense to take that final strike and take him down, but it was distracted onto the other light troops there, and it was, I'm pretty sure he was sitting in range there for a really long time, and if that thing got one shot off on him, then I think it would have been a different outcome there.
Yeah, it would have been tough because the King was still pretty healthy and had Phoenix, so it could have still got there because he had, what, 20 seconds remaining?
Maybe.
So it would have been close, but it doesn't matter. Van gets the 3-star, and we are all tied here. It's 12-12. I still feel like SE still has that time advantage, slight time advantage. I mean,
more than slight. I was
going to say my numbers are probably have them up about a minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, but Method Madness has to set the bar here, and I think they just need to not even bother to think about time. They just need to make sure this one's a triple. It's going to be such a big task to be able to beat them on time at this point. They need to make sure that they concentrate, and they make sure that this one goes through full steam ahead. As Stay Away goes in with a Headhunter wall breaker with the King, going to go in there and get the defensive World Champion of the way there. Wall breaking him through. Giant Gauntlet surges him ahead, and the Queen will make her way down south towards the Town Hall with her Frozen Arrow and make a charge towards the Town Hall. Ooh, lots of balloons going in here, searching for traps. Want to make sure he's not walking into a bait.
Yeah, and the rocket balloons actually forced the King to go to Phoenix, so King could have perhaps got a little bit more, maybe even dealt some damage to those ice golems, but instead the rocket balloons deal damage and take the King out. More balloons coming in here searching for traps. The Queen will be held up here as she deals with these ice golems and the balloons, but you're right, she'll be fine over there. Siege Barracks comes in from the top to accompany the Root Riders. I like the Siege Barracks play here because the Queen should have no problem getting to the Town Hall. So now the Siege Barracks will actually accompany these Root Riders right through the middle.
Also on top of that, the P.E.K.K.A.s to come out and all the Wizards will support the Root Riders in a very heavy way, making sure that he does have the damage output to deal with ground skellies and defensive heroes and anything else that is going to pop up there, and the Root Riders just give them the access to get directly to the defenses. But there's the Warded ability, using Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome, give them the protection that they need. Headhunters under the Warded ability were able to cross through and got the Queen down on the opposite side of the base preemptively, and now Hog Rider's going to join the core of the base and go right into that Monolith, giving light troops into the heaviest defense on the base, and then the single Fordo afterwards, looking very good on this one. Stay Away gonna push him to the perfect war, and now the only question left to ask is, can they find the defense to pair with it?
We asked if Method to Madness can keep up with SE Esports, and they show us why they're here in Challenge Finals. Stay Away gets the final 3-star. The Queen secured the Town Hall, and it is a perfect war from Method to Madness. A little bit slower than SE Esports has been, but ultimately SE Esports has to get this final triple.
And with you saying they had roughly a minute or more in the lead, and that one had over a minute or less than a minute left on the clock there, I think at this point it would be nearly impossible for Method Madness to win it on time, even if the other one went all the way down to that 3-minute mark there and just barely scratched it through. So at this point they just need to get a triple. I mean, that's it. They just got a triple. I mean, it's not a crazy.
Well, I mean, Eric,
meta, but they're very consistent, and I think that they definitely will.
Don't take my numbers as concrete, because this is just me kind of like guesstimating. You know, we got official timers and stuff.
I've been tracking in my head a little bit.
Yeah,
I think you're pretty close. Close.
It's probably within a few seconds. So with this one having 53 seconds remaining, I think you are right, though. I had the lead at about a minute 10, give or take a few seconds. So with that only having 53 seconds remaining, I don't think they can make up that ground. We need the defense here. Now, we've seen SE Esports be close on a couple of these attacks, a little bit uncharacteristically close. All it takes is one building, Eric. One building.
And you see even the top players in the world have misses on their record there. And in a high pressure situation like this is where a player is going to distinguish themselves, whether they can handle the pressure. Clearly, Method of Madness stepped up to the plate there and delivered when they needed to. But now it's just a chance of make or break here for SE Esports. Can they continue their undefeated record and continue to power through these perfect wars? Because they've done it so far all the way through Challenge. They were 7-0. They were undefeated all the way through that, and they did put up a lot of perfect wars, but even the best players in the world make mistakes every once in a while, and we're going to see right now if Jesus can save this war and keep them in the lead. He's going to go in with his Zap Lalo. This is his signature attack. He gets down the Inferno and the Rage Tower right there. A little bit of extra as well as he spreads the lightning out, gets the King Pad as well, and he can begin his path into the base. We see the Healer Puppet with the Giant Gauntlet on the King and Queen. We see the healing tome there on the Warden. And then we'll see on that Royal Champion, he is running the Royal Gem with the maxed out Haze Vial. And we'll see if that's enough to carry him through here, Bash.
Haze Vial is going to be really, really nice. And the nice thing is it is a common equipment, so it's a little bit cheaper to get it maxed out. I know that was my first priority when the update came out, was maxing out my Haze Vial. King goes to Giant Gauntlet here and is going to go ahead and surge through. Remember, when he's in that Giant Gauntlet form, he's going to be able to have a little bit of splash. Does actually get the invisibility tower to go off as well, so that I'll pre-trigger that. So now he can sweep through with the Lalo and take this Town Hall down if he needs to.
Log Launcher drops out the Electro Titan, which will quickly burn him through the defensive Lava Hound and get this Queen back in action. Also getting some support there for the defensive King, but the Lalo needs to make it through the Town Hall. He does have that invisibility tower pre-triggered by the Log Launcher, so he's going to be smooth sailing into the area. He does freeze up there multiple times to make sure that it goes down, and then he can pop that word ability, get his blues protected through the blast, and then heals right back up as they go into the multi-inferno. But the Queen's right there with the assist. She pops her ability. All of her healers go down except for one. She takes the multi. That was the biggest pick of the need on the backside, and he got the defensive Queen down as well. RC still moving. Ability attack. It's not just a triple, it's lightning fast. Jesus carrying SE Esports to victory. Double perfect war, but they do it so much faster.
15-15 in our opening bout here. Method of Madness went blow for blow with SE Esports, but ultimately SE Esports is a little bit quicker. Jesus with a beautiful knockout punch with the Zap Lalo attack.
That's such a fast attack there. I think that's one of the signature attacks that a lot of the teams that are trying to concentrate on making their attacks as fast as possible are doing right now, and it's no wonder when Jesus is a Lalo expert that he's able to do that. But the amount of value that he got with that Log Launcher was very, very impactful here. Specifically, using the Log Launcher to get the invisibility tower on the Town Hall pre-triggered, while at the same time supporting the Queen, supporting the King, and then also just giving the Queen some extra tanking after the troops drop off to give her the support that she needs to step in and clutch it on the backside. But then that Royal Champion just surging across the base there. I mean, a lot of these times, the Royal Champion equipment was slightly impactful, but I think they would have got it done regardless of which equipment that they chose, because their attacks were just sound all the way through, Bash.
Yeah, it was really just like that one really close call was that Van's attack where things could have maybe gone sideways, but ultimately, it doesn't matter if it's sloppy or not. A 3-star is a 3-star, and it's a perfect war. Our first double perfect of the whole tournament. GG's to both squads, but SE Esports will move on to our upper bracket finals. Method of Madness will go down to the lower bracket to play a little bit later today.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it just shows you how capable these teams are. And whether it's upper bracket or lower bracket, you know that when they get down there and they start potentially facing elimination, if they take any more losses down there, which we're going to find out their opponent very, very soon here. And we'll see who ends up being their opponent down there. But I don't think there's any teams in this competition right now that are not fully capable of putting up a perfect war. Offense to the extreme right now as we see these pro players in action.
Yeah, that was a beautiful performance. They got it done when they needed it the most, though. SE Esports coming through. Wow, I was a little bit nervous about those last couple of attacks, but ultimately that's why you have players like Jesus in there. I mean, he's just a Lalo god here in NA, but a beautiful war for these two squads. Next up, we will see United Gaming playing against Underworld X. Remember, we do have double elimination, so we still got a lot of action here. We're actually going to have 2 days. This is day one. We'll have tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a wild ride here, no matter how you look at it. But we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll get that next war underway. You are watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting? It's hot. Look what I got. Whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy, and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha. Yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what it's meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, a perfect war to kick off the Clash of Clans Challenge Finals. An absolutely fantastic way to kick things off and just to show the prowess of the 4 clans that we have remaining in this competition. Eric, I've got to come to you first, my friend. Coming down to time? Really? In the first, I mean, I know we've talked about it a lot, talked about the offensive meta that we're in right now, but ultimately, I mean, do you have a highlight from that? Because I couldn't pick one because we had a stream of 3 stars.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying it from the very beginning of the war there. Like, you gotta be thinking about time, and we always are when you're reaching these top tier teams. Like when we're in like a match with like with a couple of the mid-range esports teams there, then maybe that's not the case there. But in this, like, you really have to cook these attacks really fast. And when we had that attack with the dragons, where hit the tornado trap, like all the ones where the tornado trap is trying to take the town hall, or the blimp, I mean, is trying to take the town hall, the tornado trap catches it. Those always make me wince a little bit there, as I'm like, all right, is this going to slow him down? Is this going to cause even one building to miss, or is it just going to cost him time because it's all going to be impactful at this level?
Yeah, I mean, one of those examples, Bash, being Max actually giving us a little bit of a worry at one point because the tornado trap almost prevented him getting the Town Hall, but he managed to recover. And funnily enough, he managed to recover and then have a minute and 35 seconds remaining on the time. He was the one that first gave us a little bit of a worry, and then it was like, actually, no, this base is absolutely wiped.
Right, yeah, it's crazy like how it looks like it's like bleak there for a moment, and then it's like, oh, actually, it's crushed. I mean, the difference there was like, I think it was 2 minutes, 5 seconds average attack for SE Esports, and then 2 minutes, 20 seconds for Method of Madness. So SE Esports were just way quicker on their attacks.
I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. Did you ever think that we'd be considering this going into the challenge finals of like, actually, you know, we're probably going to be thinking about time. So actually, why don't we all just pick our fastest attacks that we can? And having mentioned that, something that you guys spoke about during that war was that one of the most ideal army comps to take in is basically Root Riders with Valks. It's just great. And it's really nice to see them in the meta, like you said, Eric, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fast attack there. It's fast, it's consistent, and that's what they're looking for. Is something that, like, you don't want to overcomplicate the attacks a lot of times in the meta right now, because if you do, then you're just opening up more opportunities for mistakes, and you're costing yourself time by breaking the attack down to be like overly intricate right now. And there's obviously some room for that if you're trying to do something special, but as long as you can keep the pace of it up. And a lot of times when people are doing stuff like that, they have to do multiple things at the same time so that they're still moving the attack along and getting it done in time to be able to match their opponent.
I mean, some of these pros out there even using, you know, the hero equipment to haste up the Royal Champ to get better cleanup so that they could get a faster 3-star. It's unbelievable. But let's take a quick look at the bracket as it stands, especially if you're joining us only just now, so we can give you a little update on what's going on so far. SE Esports have gone through into that upper bracket, Method to Madness, dropping down into that lower bracket with a perfect war, by the way. How unfair is that? But hey-ho, that's how the cookie crumbles. So speaking of that, coming up next, as you can see on your screen, we're going to have Underworld X facing off against United Gaming. So let's hype this next match up. Give me a little bit of a backstory, a bit of history maybe between these two teams, because week 3 is when they face each other in the challenge season, Eric, and that match was a spicy one.
It was, but you know what? You know, the last time that was really stands out to me between these two teams was on stage in San Diego when they were playing in an upper bracket semifinals number 2 match. Literally exactly what they're doing right now. And in that one, Underworld X, when they were playing as Golden X at the time, put up a fight like crazy against United Gaming. But United Gaming ultimately was able to win that. They were able to just barely edge ahead of them. And I think it was Geriticus who clutched that in the end and was able to get that win and get them onto a finals win in that season. So this is a very impactful match for Underworld X, and maybe a little bit of a revenge match. But then again, United Gaming being the most winningest team in all of Snapdragon Pro Series history, with more wins on that team and more championships than every other team combined, with all their players combined. Like, it's insane how many victories that they've had, and they got big shoes to fill there to be able to maintain their previous records and continue that trend. But the only team that's really been able to fight against them in these recent seasons was SE Esports. So I guess we'll see if Underworld X can upset it.
Call it what you want, a revenge match or a grudge match. It is going to be a match you do not want to miss. It is time to go into our second match of the Challenge Finals. It is Underworld X versus United Gaming. Take it away, boys.
And here we go. Loki X coming in. Ooh, look at that Max Frozen Arrow on the Queen here. Does have Root Riders with Valkyries going in. That really quick, fun attack. Does use that Siege Barracks up top. And for this one, just going to throw it all in here. Keep an eye on this Warden. Really traditional equipment there for the warding. A lot of times you see the Healing Tome here. So kind of interesting play there. And we do have Haste Vial with Seeking Shield here. Some interesting choices for Loki on the hero equipment, but I'm sure he knows what works for him, as he's going to go ahead and activate that invisibility spell tower and then work through this Town Hall.
Fortunately, he has Defense Bicycle and blocked him down right as he gets to Town Hall engaged there, but he does get it down there before it causes any problems. And he will. It's interesting that we're seeing a lot of attacks going through the Town Hall at Town Hall 16, where that was like a big no-no for a very long time. But these Root Rider attacks can handle it. They have the HP, they can handle that push there, and with the Warden equipment to give him the extra boost there, you would think that he would run a healing vial when you go through the Town Hall like that. But I am a little bit concerned right now. Look at the Warden over to the far left there, leaving all the troops over to the far right there, a bit stranded. RC steps through, gets the defensive king out of the way there, and he's got the Queen of the RC working together, but they lost all of their tanking, and they are very vulnerable in that area.
Yeah, that's why I was saying the the Warden equipment was a little bit odd there, because a lot of times, especially when you're going through the Town Hall, you need that healing tome just to provide a little bit of extra oomph, and I don't think this is going to get there. He's got way too many defenses here. King's already gone to Phoenix, and this is going to be a defense for United Gaming on Rigo Torres' base here. Maybe a different hero equipment setup could have set him up a little bit better, but this back end of this base was loaded.
Well, he also didn't have a very strong funnel on the left side there. He had a very, very strong funnel on the top edge of the base there, and that was able to get supported by the siege barracks dropping in to make sure that he had no issues making sure that that area was all the way combed through. But over the left side of the base, he only had a couple Valkyries working out there, and if they get picked off, then the King ended up walking out of the base, and the King, like, look where he started here. He started on the Town Hall area. He ended up crossing through, and he ended up getting pumped all the way out to the far left side, and if he was over in the middle of the base there with the main pack, then he would have been in a much better spot there. I don't know how he ended up just walking all the way out there. Electric Titan walked out there as well, but dragging the Warden over there and making so that he didn't have the damage output where he needed it into the Royal Champion and the Queen, and he had that extra damage on the King as he was waking his way through the outside trash buildings. Like, that is a very, very big problem in the attack there that we have to account for. That's why a lot of players will put, they'll make sure that they overemphasize their flanks on those spam attacks to make sure that everybody stays central, because when those heroes walk, you have a lot of problems.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, I like to use even 1 or 2 Root Riders. Could have probably not gotten away or not needed it on the top side using that Siege Barracks, but on that bottom side, if he used like 2 Root Riders with those Valks that he put in, could have maybe prevented that King from going out. But the Root Riders just opened up that far wall over there, and then the King targeted and went outside before those interior walls were open. So that's how the King ended up on the outside there. It is a little bit of a misstep there. No double perfect here, Eric, as we already have our first miss of the war. It is at 82%, which in this meta, that's kind of a low percentage attack, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did notice that on the left and right flank of that Town Hall where he was starting his funnels, there weren't really any defenses out there. So, like, you say that he needed to put some Root Riders out there, but there were no defenses, and Root Riders are defense targeting troops, so it was kind of like counter to that. Force the Root Riders in the middle of the base there and force them to use other troops to form the funnels, and obviously the funnel failed a little bit there, even though the funnel was like way deeper in the base there for where it actually ended up failing and causing problems. But now we're going to see a very, very similar attack here with Ghost going in, but Lightning being used to take out the invisibility tower, and what else he got out of that? Inferno? Looks like he got an Inferno out of it as well. And he's going to go ahead and get to the Town Hall first here with the King diving in. Queen on the flank. And it just seems that he's going to burn his King so early into the attack, but there's a lot of value to be had over there.
A lot of times you see the King just go in with the roots and just kind of spam it all in together. The King's in charge of taking this Town Hall down. He'll also get the Mono down. King actually should get most of this compartment, and that'll allow the Queen to kind of just work her pathing and get set up for joining up with the Root Riders. Here comes that Siege Barracks in from the top side. 2 P.E.K.K.A.s will come out, and here come all those Root Riders. Now he's going to look for the Queen to join up with them, but with the Ice Golems in there, it might prevent her from doing so. Okay, now she's coming back. Root Riders are going to go ahead and surge through the middle, and they'll open everything so this Queen can kind of just follow them in.
Yeah, she's in a good spot now, and with her HP being contributed so that she now can just sit in the back line and get healed up by the Unicorn. She was able to prevent that damage to something else. So very, very good management right there overall. King's still working. He's still got the Phoenix over the left side of the base there. She would get the Expo down with that. And the main pack here with the Healing Tome and the Warden gonna get these Root Riders topped off as they were starting to get low on HP, but now they're climbing in HP rapidly, and he's gonna have them topped off at the backside of the base. He's out of spells at this point, but overall, looking very, very strong.
Still has Queen ability, Royal Champion ability. Look at that, the whole United Gaming squad together, all smiles as they know this one's gonna get through. Blast me off into the stars as Ghost is gonna prevent Underworld X from taking a lead with the lead for United Gaming with this 3-star.
Absolutely, you just need to get the Royal Champion to move through the back of the base there, and she should have no problem with that. And what's interesting is, like we talked about in the last match there when we had the double perfect war, that if you have your opponent make a mistake there, then you have the pressure of time taken off of you, and then you can just kind of you could change your attack plans to be something a little bit more safer and take your time a little bit more, but they're still going to keep it faster because, you know, this plan was already planned before we had to think about that, and Ghost easily climbs all the way to 3 stars on that one and puts United Gaming into an early lead.
Nice attack, Ghost, but I'm still coming for you, bud. I'm still coming for you. Ghost and I have this little friendly rivalry going on right now. He knows. He knows. Beautiful attack for United Gaming. Now, that puts Underworld X behind the 8 ball a little bit. We saw the last war, 15-15. You can't really slip up too much. And we've seen United Gaming put up perfect war after perfect war, so you can't give them an inch. They'll take a mile on you. Underworld X has to be flawless from this point forward.
Absolutely, they do. That's going to be a very, very big challenge. I mean, we know that it's possible. We know that United Gaming is not a flawless team either. They can make mistakes there, and they can give them that opportunity, but they need to get the triples. This next one absolutely must go through. They need to stay hot on their tail there, and then wait for an opportunity. They have to stay in position to be able to retake a lead if the opportunity presents itself.
Now, you know Method to Madness is going to be watching this match closely as well, because they will actually be playing the loser of this matchup and the next match, which will be an elimination matchup. So I'm sure they're getting their scouting reports out, getting those bases prepped, seeing what works, what doesn't work for these two squads. We got a lot of war to go, so we don't necessarily know too much yet, but maybe we see a little bit of a flaw for Underworld X. Maybe you can bait some of those Root Rider Valkyrie attacks a little bit. Like Eric said, there weren't a lot of defenses on the outside. Maybe you could have anchored onto like one air defense out there, but Eric, you might have been right. It might not have even been enough to set a strong enough funnel in that first attack.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. Like a lot of these bases are, when you have base building, you're trying to figure out how to stop the most meta attacks, and Root Riders and Valkyries are a very, very heavy attack in the meta right now. That is very challenging to stop. So if it just comes down to the base building, and I think a lot of people have known that Ghost himself is one of the base builders in the world, and so United Gaming and SE Esports, they both have one of the strongest. I'd say hands down, they have two of the best base building teams in North America. Obviously, that didn't stop Method of Madness in the last war. They still put up a perfect, but it is slowing down Underworld X here. We see it in action now. Panda is going to go in, and we are going to see another attack with the Root Riders. Going to start off with a Warden Walk here. There we go. Seeking Shield with a Max Hog Puppet. This is the first time I've really seen a Max Hog Puppet here, and we're going to see what he can do with it.
Oh, remember, so the Hog Puppet works similar to how the Healer Puppet or the Archer Puppet, Barbarian Puppet, those work. It's going to spawn, I believe, 9 Hog Riders at maximum level. Does have the Frozen Arrow there on the Queen, almost maxed out. So Panda putting in some work on the equipment, using this Warden Walk just to set up some pathing. Look at that, another piece of epic equipment maxed out there with the King's Giant Gauntlet. Taking his time, letting this funnel set up. He knows that he doesn't need to worry about the time. He's got to worry about 3 stars here. So making sure he gets this funnel set up really nicely, but keep an eye on this mono. Okay, Warden stays back just enough.
Yeah, he's going to be okay with the range of the monolith there. He needs to break off to the right and make his way to the Town Hall, or the left and get the Root Riders to tank the monolith. Either way. Oh, okay. Warden, are we okay here? Warden, are we okay here, buddy? All right, he's got the freeze right there, but that only delays it. I think it's going to look right back onto him, and it does! Come on, Panda, get that Warden under control here and get him through. He's got the healers out of rage because the Warden's running the rage gem, but he continues to take damage and he will be forced to ability, but not a bad time for the ability to go out there as it does protect the Blimp and the Root Riders as they continue to progress their way forward. But that monolith is still hammering away here.
Well, this Blimp might not make it. The Blimp does fall short. Yeti falls short out there. Warden is down. The invincibility tower goes off. The Roots will open up access to the Town Hall. But look at this monolith, Eric. The monolith is dealing so much damage. He has to send the Royal Champion in to get that mono down. Now here come the Root Riders surging forward. He does have the King on the top side. He's got to get through this Town Hall. There's a single in there. There's an Expo. This one still has a long way to go for Panda.
Yeah, that Blimp falling short there really, really, really hurt him here. But the Root Riders open up the base. They will step their way through. Rage up at the Town Hall. Queen is lagging way behind. She's going to catch up in just a moment here. But the Root Riders stuck in the tornado trap. Problem after problem after problem. And the base building from Ghost is not letting this one move through progressively fast. Or what was I saying there? I can't even talk. I'm so flustered at what's going on with these Root Riders right now.
Root Riders get 8 alive there by the Giga Bomb and the Poison. The King's in there doing some work. He does have just a few healers. Oh man, Underworld X are struggling here against United Gaming. Queen still has ability. Royal Champion still has. Is Royal Champion in?
Royal Champion has the healer right there.
Okay, she's right there in the middle. Okay, I didn't see
King's
her.
providing tanking. Maybe the Royal Champion can get through. She's got the Queen finally gets back in action and is over there to join. There's the Hog Puppet. Hog Puppet might carry him and get him through the attack. Into the scatter shot. He's got that down. Into the multi-arch tower. RC continues to surge away forward there, but she needs to get the defenses down and quickly into the storage on the inside. Is she going to take the turn? Hogs go to the outside. RC goes to the inside, and he's got it. Wait. On the buzzer! Panda Eggs barely crawls that one through.
Woo! what a close call for Panda. That one was up and down, left and right, all around this base. Nothing wanted to cooperate for Panda, but ultimately gets the job done. We see that Hog Puppet coming in clutch at the back end of this base, able to get down that scatter shot and the multi-archer tower just enough to get the 3-star for Underworld X.
On top of that, the split of the Royal Champion with the Hogs there to give him the damage right where he needed it at the absolute last possible second. You don't really get much closer than that. And yeah, that ended up working out. It ended up working out there. And you really just don't have anything come that close there very often, especially at Town Hall 16. But he does get it done. He clutches when he needs to, and that does keep his team in the running here.
Yeah, another miss there would have been catastrophic. I mean, that was, what, 1 second away from being a time fail, but you're right. The split from the Royal Champion and those few remaining Hog Riders was clutch. But now it's going to be up to Nick, coming in with the Root Riders and Valkyries, along with some lightning on the top of this base, taking out the Expo, Ricochet Cannon, and the Rage Tower. Tons of value there. Does have the frozen arrow there. Going to use a battle blip to take down this Town Hall early and get that out of the way. I love the healing tome on this attack. I think when you're running this attack, you have to have the healing tome, and I think that was one of Loki's flaws earlier. Let's see what Nick can do, though.
Yeah, Nick, if you don't know Nick, you should know Nick. He has the most wins out of every player in North America in this tournament. 6-time champion here in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Even before it was the Snapdragon Pro Series, he was one of the top players to look at, and he continues that trend here, and he's going for another championship, trying to get to number 7. But let's see what he can do here as this Queen is going to join in with the Root Riders. They're deployed all the way over to the left there. So the Queen is going to approach the defensive King and towards that Monolith on her own, which could potentially be a problem, but she is sustaining the frozen arrow, reducing the damage in the area just enough there, and now a skeleton spell to get the tanking through the defensive King and the Monolith, and she's hanging in here, Bash.
Yeah, she's looking fine, and she still has ability there. King still has ability as he takes a wander on the outside of the base. Remember, we want those roots just to thin out as many of these defenses as possible. Royal Champion's not going to join the party. Keep an eye on Lamano. It's going to force the Queen to ability, and she doesn't get much there. She's just able to hang on, but if she can hang on a little bit longer as she steps out of range of the mono, that could be huge later.
Yeah, she steps out away from the Monolith and attacks the wall from there. A very, very safe position to stand there, but the Monolith is going to continue to pick off defenses until she gets into it. Unicorn is getting targeted, but in the meantime, the Unicorn is topping the Queen off, and the Monolith is back on to Root Riders, picking him up, but the Warden, is he getting targeted? Yeah, Warden's getting targeted. Queen steps through, gets the frozen arrow shot on the Monolith, slows his attack speed down, and saves the Warden. Clutch Queen right there, and I thought she was out of action, but she steps in right at a critical time and saves the Root Riders by saving the Warden.
Look at Nick on the camera. He's like, Queen over here, over there. It doesn't matter. We're getting through for the 3-star. The Queen, though, with the 200 IQ play, sidestepping the mono damage there. Beautiful attack for Nick, and United Gaming remains flawless thus far. 6-5, they hold the lead over Underworld X and control their own fate the rest of this war.
Nick, I mean, he's like flailing his arms, like, whatever, I got it. A triple's a triple, no matter how close it comes, you know? But it's fun to see them all on camera together. They all just group around that table there, flew in from wherever they needed to be so that they could be together with their team for this, and that just makes it that much more exciting.
And we saw that also in the last war with SE. We had a lot of SE players together as well, but it looks like the whole UG squad is there right there. You gotta love that. The spotting, the live watch party together, like that's gonna be a blast.
I love the Royal Champion. Once again, we see her with the haste vial on that attack there with the Royal Gem. The haste vial plus the Royal Gem is quickly becoming the favorite piece of equipment there for these pro players, and like we saw the Hog Puppet clutch right there, but we're seeing more and more people favoring the haste vial with the Royal Gem, and that also assisted pretty heavy on the backside to get the Royal Champion to clear out the rest of the defenses once he had that Monolith under control.
Yeah, when you can like kind of time it and surge her forward like that, it's so huge. I think one of the things like that's kind of underrated is that healing tome. That healing tome, not only does it provide that healing initially, but it lasts for quite a few seconds after you press that Warden's ability. So the healing tome coming in on these Root Rider Valk attacks is just massive. Now, we need Underworld X to do a little bit of work and get a defense, get themselves back in this. Their miss was still kind of low, so even if they do get the defense, they might need to.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, you never know. Like, if they have, it depends on their base building. What kind of preparation did they do going into this? Can they bait somebody? Can they predict them? Can they get them to walk into a trap? And that's that might be what it takes here to get somebody to slip up enough there, because sometimes if you can get somebody to make a mistake at the very start of an attack, then those mistakes start to snowball and cause bigger and bigger problems until they end up leaving a lot of percentage on the board. But it looks like Omaksu going in with the zap into Lalo, able to clear out the ricochet cannon and the multi-arch tower on the left side of the base, get a little bit on top of that, and get the funnel set.
Puppet.
Yeah, healer puppet there with the queen on the hero dives is very, very popular here. And we will see that life gem on the board. And still get a lot of use out of life gem in general when we see the Lalo, especially if the Lalo doesn't have to go through the town hall directly. If the queen takes the town hall, which she's on track to do right now, then he can run the life gem and get more value out of it than a healing tome would give.
Right, the healing tome, you want to run that just to provide that extra little bit of healing support through that poison. But since the queen takes that town hall down now, he doesn't really have to worry about that. Look at that, battle drill comes in here to accompany this Lalo attack. Remember, the hog puppet is in there on the royal champion, sends in a couple of headhunters to take out that enemy royal champion, and everything is starting to progress here for Omaksu really nicely.
I love that the queen was able to get that poison tower to pre-trigger as well as she was taking the town hall down. But the battle drill with the royal champion actually works out very, very nice, because they are constantly passing the defenses back and forth to each other. The battle drill's taking stuns and giving her support on the ground there, while also giving her tanking. They pass it back and forth. Battle drill goes underground, royal champion goes invisible, and they're just passing everything around and just splitting up the damage there evenly between them. But now he's got extra balloons popping out of the battle drill, and a dragon rider as well into the core of the base. There's that. Why did he wait so long on the warden? I feel like that was so late into the attack there, and I don't know if he's got the punch to get through after not using it early and saving more balloons that he could have potentially stopped the damage incoming on.
That was my thought process too, is like, he had most of the balloons in there under the warden. He could have popped that ability and kept them alive, but for some reason decided not to use it. Still does have royal champion with the hog rider puppet, so it might still be enough to get through here, but he could have maybe had this a little bit more decisive. Here come those hog riders spawning out of that hog rider puppet. He only has that Tesla on the top side that he missed, but he should be fine here actually. So maybe not the prettiest attack, maybe not the cleanest attack, but Omaksu ultimately going to get through here with a Lalo 3-star, and that's exactly what this Underworld X team needs. They need to get 3 stars on the board. So a little bit of a questionable decision maybe on that warden ability, but it doesn't matter as he gets all the buildings down anyways, and it's a 3-star.
I do kind of like the mix of the royal gem and the hog puppet there, because both of them give an HP restoration. The royal gem gives like over 2,000. The hog puppet gives like 500 roughly.
Yeah.
And so when you combine that, the royal champion goes from basically down to auto ability almost, and then she goes all the way back to full HP. Then she gets the hogs out in front of her, giving her some tanking, and she goes invisible for 1 second, and so she has a chance to pass any defenses that are currently locked onto her, and then she still has the Spirit Box to make so that she stays protected even beyond that, further protecting her life pool. So that is actually a very, very strong combination to just keep her alive. Just a very, very good survivability technique that is doing some good work right there. And I don't know, I still am up in there. I think a lot of people are, as we watch these pro players and try to get an idea of what we should upgrade there as far as Road Champion equipment as it just released to the game.
One thing I'm kind of noticing is it feels like it's just a personal choice. I feel like all 4 pieces of this Royal Champion equipment are pretty good, pretty strong, and whatever combination you like, I think that's what you're going to lean into, because we've seen Haste Vial, yes, very effective, but not overly needed on some of these attacks, but we've seen this Hog Puppet come in and clutch up a few attacks. So I think it's a little bit of a personal preference here as Rigo Torres gets going in with a zap into Lalo. Does have a Flame Flinger selected, get out a Poison Tower and a Monolith up top there as we take a look at the hero equipment. It does have that max level Giant Gauntlet, level 27 Giant Gauntlet that is. Healer Pupper here selected for the Queen, which we've seen that a lot on these hero dives into Lalo. Having those few healers to spawn up is really, really nice. And then pretty traditional equipment there on the Warden. So that generally means he's going to take the Town Hall with something else. I think he's going to Battle Blimp it. And then let's see what we got here on the Royal Champion as he gets going. Traditional setup on the Royal Champion.
Yeah, I still like that Seeking Shield. I think while the other equipment is really cool there's still a very, very strong use case scenario for the Seeking Shield and the Royal Gem, getting the HP recovery there, but having the opportunity to take out 4 defenses outright, so they never have a chance to even target onto you. Sometimes saves more HP than all those other things that could have been equipped on her. But the Queen, able to make her way through, locks onto the single Inferno, and then the sweeper knocks her healers back to safety, and she'll fight off the CC, and she's not done yet. She can turn that into a little bit of a Queen charge right there with 3 healers, which is a very, very nice amount of healers there to give that Queen the support that she needs to continue to clear out that area of the base. But I like what's going on with Lalo here. Does blimp across there, does land. Yetis into the Town Hall. They're going to take that down, and the Ricochet Cannon, and a little bit past that as well there if they can get that Rage Tower out of the way. But the Rage Tower was pre-triggered, and that is a very, very impactful thing, so that the Rage Tower is going to be faded by the time the balloons are really taking any significant damage from it.
Queen did go down, but here comes the Royal Champion joining up with this pack of balloons. The King is in there fighting some skeletons with the Monolith. The Royal Champion should be able to take care of this multi-Archer Tower. He's still got plenty of balloons working through here. Remember, he does have Seeking Shield on the Royal Champion, and when he sends that off, it should be able to weaken up and take down some of these defenses. It should weaken up that bow. Honestly, I think he's fine here. It's not even going to be a question of that, whether or not the Seeking Shield gets enough, because Diggy comes in, stuns the Expo, and it's another 3-star for United Gaming as Rigo Torres gets it done.
Got 3 triples on the board, sustaining their lead, but Underworld X is staying pace with them on the triples that they have followed past their miss. So they're staying in position, still waiting for a mistake, but so far on United Gaming is just not letting them have any opportunities there. And they're gonna continue to play this level, I'd expect, and we'll see what happens there. But I mean, as we continue to go through, the pressure builds and builds and builds for these last couple of attackers to continue that trend. And one of the upcoming players here is Ninja, one of the youngest players in this entire tournament in all of North American esports. Ninja is, I think he's still only 16 years old. I think he might be 17.
Might be 17 by now.
But yeah, I feel like he's the newest and upcoming player here in Clash of Clans esports. Here was one of the contenders for Rookie of the Year, and maybe that lack of experience for such a young player could be what ends up causing them to slip up there. But then Ninja's such a good player that I have a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to brush you off, Eric, but Ninja,
he's good.
As young as he is well composed, maybe more composed than some of the older guys. For some reason, Ninja's just cool as a cucumber when it comes down to that 5th slot. He stepped into this United Gaming lineup.
Does Griticus play 5th?
Oh, wait. Well, we've seen it both ways here throughout Challenge. Yeah, I don't think Griticus is going to want to miss this, right? Yeah, so I guess Ninja maybe goes 4, Griticus goes 5 here?
Maybe, yeah, that's what I expect.
I mean, that's a crazy closing lineup.
Well, Griticus, so let's remember back to Season 2 when these two teams, these exact 2 teams, met on stage in San Diego, and they were in a very, very similar situation to this. And we came down to the final attack there, and Griticus had to clutch it, and he did. And so he's one of the best closers in North America, and he is able to deliver on that time and time again. And so I feel like if they want him to play closer, he will definitely play strong in the spot. And so I don't know how this is going to turn out there, but it only takes one mistake, one snowballed mistake to turn into a big miss, and you could have this war swing, and we're going to find out if it happens very, very soon. But T King is in for Underworld X. They'll continue to try to keep the pressure on and keep these triples rolling in with a Super Dragon attack next.
Remember, Super Dragons did get a buff of hit points, so they are a little bit more meaty now. Underworld X needs to keep pace with this United Gaming team as Nick is on defense here. Taking a look at the hero equipment, looks pretty traditional setup there on the Queen. He does have the healing tome on the Warden here, which will provide just a little bit of healing to those dragons. Assuming the Warden goes with the dragons, I wouldn't see why not. And then traditional setup there on the Royal Champion.
Yeah, just need to get the Queen to set up both sides of the funnel here. Did he have 4 or 5 healers here? Remember that even with the new level to recall, you cannot extract 5 healers there, so it looks like he will pull out all the healers that he deployed with the Queen in addition to the Unicorn, and redeploy to the other side of the funnel here. Super Dragons did just get a little bit of a buff. They have more HP than they did before that most recent update, and so they're going to have a lot more punch here and be able to stay alive for just a little bit longer. And a lot of times, if they just survive just a tiny bit longer and get 1 or 2 more key defenses, then that is all it takes for them to triple or not. But Slammer in the left side, Queen has the wall break on the right side, and there's no heroes over on those flanking compartments to deal with, and so he just needs to have the punch for the far, far, far back end of the base there once he arrives to those defensive heroes, and that means these Super Dragons have a little less resistance to work their way through, but they have to survive to at least wipe all the way into the Rage Tower area.
Here comes the King in from the bottom side of the base. The Super Dragons are actually doing a really nice job in the middle of the base. They actually took out the Ice Golems also, so the Queen doesn't have to worry about those. Now he's got the King working in there. We'll have to see where he brings in Royal Champion. And if he can get through the back end of this base, he does have a Headhunter in there. That'll be key. All three of the defensive heroes here are going to be the big stop, but can his King work through here? Royal Champion's now in. Queen still has ability. Look at those two Ricochet cannons. This is going to be the most crucial compartment. T-King's looking good, but he's got to get through.
Where's that King going? The Ricochet cannon is killing all the support there for the offensive King, and he's just on a hunt there to try to get the defensive Royal Champion down, but he can't find her. She goes back over to him. He's under invincibility there from his Phoenix, and the Royal Champion does give the support there. He's got it. T-King gets another one on the board here, and Underworld X is going to go into the final exchange here with, I guess, the triples rolling in, and they continue to roll in here. They're staying pace. They're staying exactly where they need to be and wait for a mistake.
Yeah, but they still need that mistake, Eric. You got to force a mistake at some point. With 2 attacks remaining for United Gaming, you need one of their final players to slip up here. This is a well-executed attack. I like this plan quite a bit. Did a really good job on the Queen on both sides of this attack, and then the King coming in to finish off those enemy heroes is really nice. Not often do you see the Super Dragons staying up to the back end of the base, so really clutch attack there for T-King and Underworld X keeping pace. Oh man, that initial mistake. We've only had one missed attack throughout our whole day so far, Eric.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times all it takes. Like one single mistake can end up causing a lot of problems there, and like it is crazy that the mistake that we did end up being such a low percentage, and it comes at the early part of the war, which definitely is going to boost the confidence of United Gaming, especially as they go to these final 2 attacks there, knowing that they have some wiggle room there if they do make a mistake. So a lot of pressure is taken off of them, being that the percentage was relatively low right there. And so we'll go into this and see what happens with our rookie and one of the most elite players in all of North American esports with Geriticus there, and we'll see which one ends up deciding to go in first, but we'll see if they slip up or if they just prevent any opportunity for Underworld X. And here we go. We are in. It is gonna.
It's Agent.
I thought. Oh,
Ninja or Geriticus. One of them is sitting.
Okay, all right. Yeah, one of them is sitting out here. But it looks like it is going to be some lightning as Agent goes in. Also, another player. I think he has currently 4 Snapdragon Pro Series championships under his belt. They're same as Geriticus. Not as much as Nick with 6 right now. But like we said, there's a lot of very, very high-profile players on this team, and their roster's stacked, and they don't make a lot of mistakes here. So we'll see what Agent is able to do as the Queen makes her way towards the Town Hall. Frozen Arrow, if she can just get the Town Hall down without any difficulty, then that will be all the value that she needs to get here. Anything on top of that is just icing on the cake. But I love what the King's doing. King with the wall break over to the left is going to be able to walk right into the defensive Queen and the sketch shot. I love the path that he chose for her.
Yeah, this is really, really nice. The Ice Golems are going to come out, and the King will actually be able to deal with them ahead of everything else. He's using a few of those Super Barbarians on the top side. Now he's going to go ahead and send in the Root Riders, which will actually accompany the King. The King should be able to deal with these Ice Golems. Queen is going to get taken out there on the bottom, but not a big deal. She got all the value she needed, and he's got really nice pathing set up for these Roots to surge right through the middle of the base.
And the King able to get the scatter shot down there before he switched over to the Ice Golems, making sure that it stops firing onto the Root Riders here. But they have the Healing Tome. They got the Rage as they go to the core of the base and get this very, very heavy block around the Rage Tower down. But the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome giving them the protection that they need as they go through that very dense Rage Tower area. But into the backside of the base here, we got to get the defensive row champion under control. Look how many headhunters he has on standby. He's sitting on 4 right now, and there's not really a lot of threats near the edge of the base there, so he spreads them out there, but they hit a spring trap and a giant bomb, and they all go down. And the defensive row champion going to be a little bit of trouble, but he's got extra headhunters on standby. He did not deploy them all. One more drops in, gets the support that he needs, and he's got his triple here. And now they just got to survive one more attack without making a mistake here, but they're not letting up here. Even Swag in that road champion ability with the haste and the Haze Vial will get the cleanup done a little bit faster.
He had to have brought like 7 Headhunters on this because he also used Headhunters at the beginning to help take down the enemy king. So tons of Headhunters for Agent, 6 Headhunters in total there. Just a well-executed attack. Very nice hero dive there with the king and queen taking down the town hall, and the king just got so much value. King was able to work over to the enemy queen, take out the clan castle troops, take out the scatter shot, and set up the padding so nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of multi-infernos on this base here, but we've also seen a lot of people switching over to single infernos to try to slow the Root Riders down a little bit there, because when you have the Eternal Tome plus the Healing Tome, like you can't really get any Root Riders down with the multi-inferno damage only hitting them. And so you need to, like, the Healing Tome just pretty much counters those, especially when they're all tied together like that, and you're coming off of an Eternal Tome as well. And when they just pack those areas in, he just shoves a giant block of Root Riders right there, and they just swarm it, and it does go down relatively easy, as we saw right there. A strong setup there, but it was all because he was able to get the heroes to get the value that they needed and set up that queen and the king to do what they needed to do.
Eric, I wish Loki got through. I really do at this point.
I
really want it. But with that being said, we are setting up for the matchup of our Titans. Assuming UG does go on to win this, playing against SE Esports could be a sneak peek of our grand final. That'll be our upper bracket final a little bit later on. We still will play that first elimination match after this one. So still tons of Clash action. Make sure you guys stick around for that. But Underworld X still alive here. They're not out. They get a 3-star here and get something crazy to happen on defense. They can still win this one.
Yeah, but what's interesting is the matchup that you just said that is looking like it might happen here between United Gaming and SE Esports. That was the upper bracket finals and then the grand finals in season 3. That was the upper bracket finals and then the grand finals in season 2. And then United Gaming also won season 1 when they were out in Poland, where we are right now. So it was like across the street from where we were.
Yeah, and remember last season that SC forced the bracket reset to get that championship. So it's really, really entertaining matchup with that. But Sam X is in next with a Queen, or Warder Walk rather, into Zap Root Rider Valkyries.
Like the Root Riders and the Valkyries, they pair really, really well together here. But the Warder Walk is going to set it up here, and the Lightning able to clear out the Monolith deep in the base there, in addition to the Spell Tower. Makes so that's not going to cause any problems a little bit later on. But the Quake does end up hitting the Town Hall there, activates it, so he will take some damage on the approach there. But that's not a problem, because with the approach that he's taking right now, he'd be reaching 50% anyways. And I guess the Battle does repair all the damage that was sustained in that area. But the Root Riders are well set up here, but he is going to end up with a split here. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is because of where the Lightning is used, he's going to have part of the Root Riders split off to the Eagle Artillery, potentially have another branch of them go over to the Town Hall, and that is the problem when we use Lightning, but we don't finish breaking the ring of defenses, so the King and the Blimp are going to have to re-emphasize that Town Hall area to make sure that all the Root Riders stay together as a pack wherever the healers are.
Here we go with the Battle Blum taking down the Town Hall. Let's see if the Yeti Mites can get down the Expo. They do. Royal Champion's now going to accompany the King and just help thin out those defenses on the top side. Meanwhile, the Root Riders are starting to cut across here. He is almost out of spells, does have one more freeze, but these Root Riders are taking some significant damage. He's down to 4, maybe 5 Root Riders in there, maybe 3 Root Riders now, as the Roots are cutting across all these heavy defenses. The Queen is doing a great job staying back here, however, and the King is doing a great job thinning out for the Royal Champion. Spirit Fox should make the Royal Champion invisible. Yes, oh wait, Spirit Fox got taken out. Keep an eye on the single in this back compartment right here.
I'm watching that defensive Royal Champion right there. The Queen finally locks onto her and shuts her down with the Frozen Arrow. She took a long time to get that Eagle Artillery down, so they were taking a lot of sustained fire for a very, very long time. But the Rage Gem boosting the healing output of the healers there, plus a couple super powers to the outside to get some extra support there. Wizards on cleanup on the outside. Queen ability still intact. RC surging forward there ahead of the pack, and he does clutch the triple that they need, and they will hit 14 stars. It's going to come down to the final attack. UG has advantage. They control this war. They just need to not throw on this last attack here, and they can lock in their entry into the upper bracket finals.
83% 2-star or higher will win this war for Ninja and United Gaming. See, the mystery was there because Ninja was the last base to be attacked, so we weren't 100% sure. So Ninja will be our final attacker as Greticus sits this one out. But that's what I love about this United Gaming team. Yeah, they're stacked, but they're so selfless. Graticus is like, get in there, Ninja. Handle business. You got this. You clutch just as much as I am. And they know that all of their players can step up to the plate and knock it out when they need to. All they need here is 83% 2-star. Should be pretty manageable for UG.
Yeah, I love that what you're saying there with that, though. Like we saw when United Gaming was playing on stage out in Seattle, where their team captain, Nick, who, like I said, has 6 championship victories under his belt there. He was having a little bit of an off day that day, and he was conscious enough that he recognized that he was having a little bit of an off day, and he stepped off of the field for a war to let somebody else step in that was playing a little bit hotter that day. So I like that just humbleness to be able to recognize when they are having a little bit of a down day and be able to step back and let somebody else step in. And even though like they want that moment of glory, everybody wants that moment of glory there on the stage on this big of a finals right here. You want to make sure that you're on the field there and you get all the glory. But I love this team as a whole be able to humble themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, they've talked about it in previous interviews where they're aware that, you know, they're people with careers and jobs and families, and they're very self-aware of that. So if Ninja's able to put in a little bit more work, put a little bit more effort in before or after the update drops, they're not afraid to step aside. They work so well together. Ninja now coming in here with the zap into Root Riders. We see this combination with the Barbarians used quite a bit here. I like it a lot. Skeleton Spell is in there to distract the Queen. He does have a Battle Drill selected at the current time. So Ninja just needs the 83% 2-star to secure this one for United Gaming, but you know he wants the perfect war.
Look at these wall breaks still over to the left there, or just below the King, to make it so that he doesn't just clear that compartment there, but he now has a path with the Golem to continue forward to just go into that scatter shot, clear the range tower, and that does break the ring of defenses near where the lightning was used and make so that the Root Riders will stay together as a pack. But on top of that, this Queen is in a very, very good position right now where she is not sustaining damage, and the damage that she did sustain is easily recovered there by his Unicorn, and now she can join with the pack there. And did we see what kind of hero equipment they had here? I didn't see what the Queen had, but I see that she is not using the Frozen Arrow here, so I have to assume that she's got Healer Puppet, and Healer Puppet could actually get her to spawn healers and continue to keep the Root Riders alive as he makes his way forward. But there is the Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome, and he can surge his way forward with the Battle Drill still on standby. There it is over the right side.
Bit of a risky play here going all the way across the base, but Ninja knows it's well calculated. Ice Golems do get taken out here as the Royal Champion helps out with the Queen. They're all surging towards that Town Hall. Just keep an eye on the single target Inferno. He does have 2 free spells that he can use on the Inferno, on the Town Hall if needed, nice, and does just that. One more Ice Golem is going to lurk over here, so keep an eye on when that meets up with this kill squad as it gets into the Town Hall. Oh, look at that Tornado going off with not much there. Perfect timing for the Tornado to go off, and this Town Hall is going to fall, and that's going to be the war.
Yeah, and I love what he did with the Defensive King on the backside of the base there. Just throws a couple of super barbs to tank for him. Headhunters slip under there while they're providing the tanking and just removes him from the equation before the Root Riders are threatened by him. And he's got a Queen ability. He's got a Battle Drill still intact there with whatever troops are inside. RC ability still moving. RC going to be forced to ability right there, and she's surging forward. Haste Vial with the Royal Gem in action again. Will clean it up there with plenty of time to spare, and it's a win. It's a perfect war. United Gaming is advancing to our upper bracket finals.
Wow, Eric, these teams are all playing so well. Even on Loki's attack, I still say, Loki, run that Healing Tome.
I know.
They have gave him the chance to get through there, but all it took was the one mistake, and United Gaming take advantage, get the victory. They will move on to play SE Esports in our upper bracket final a little bit later today. Contrary to that, Underworld X will move down to our lower bracket semis, so they will play against Method to Madness, and the loser of that matchup will be eliminated from our tournament. So this double elimination tournament, I mean, imagine, Eric, you put up 15 if you're Method to Madness, you gotta go play lower bracket. Even you put up 14 as Underworld X, you gotta go play lower bracket. Such a tough day, and man, this lower bracket semi, it's gonna be a crazy matchup too.
Well, I like what we're seeing out of all the teams, though, because when we saw them play in the challenge phase, there were only a couple teams that were putting up perfect wars, and now we're seeing everybody like right on the verge of it. We're hitting those perfect wars, and so everybody seems to have stepped up here to the plate to play in this finals. But the 2 teams that we expected to end up making it through, the 2 teams that had made it through in the previous seasons, do it again. They deliver time and time again, and so it just goes to show you that there's so much skill involved here if they're able to get here time and time and time and time again and continue to deliver the way they do.
Yeah, our juggernauts of North American clash for sure in SE Esports and United Gaming. Whew, I'm looking forward to that matchup. That will be our 4th match of today. Could be a sneak peek of our grand finals, but we still do have our lower bracket semis that I talked about, which will be our first elimination match. Unfortunately, one of our teams is going to be going home here in the next matchup, Eric. But that's going to be our next matchup coming up here shortly. We will have a short break, so we'll come back right after that. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. You're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha, look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting? It's hot. Look what I got. Whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy, and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what it's meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
What an unbelievable war to get the blood flowing, or boiling if you are an Underworld X fan. Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series. These teams are out here proving to you why they belong at this point in the competition. And with a shift in an update in the mix, anything can surely happen, right? So Underworld X are sent into the lower brackets, but they remain in contention. But they have to win every war from here on out. So Bash, I'm going to come to you first. I kind of want to talk about a little bit of an incident that happened at the very beginning of that war, which can't go unmentioned, let's be honest. Low-key, with a little bit of a slip up there. It was a little bit of a difficult one, difficult pill to swallow, because not only did he have that 2-star result, he had to sit and watch the rest of his clan triple out. And unfortunately for them, United Gaming just absolutely bossed that one with a perfect war.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It definitely does, and you always wonder what if, and they probably see the stats, and I feel like I wasn't keeping track of the time, obviously, because we had the miss, but I feel like UG was faster anyways, so it might not have even mattered. But obviously, I'm sure they know and they're aware, but you can't just, you know, harp on that and get yourself down. You got to go play an elimination match next, so you just got to pick yourself back up, get ready for this next matchup, and you know if you lose, you're eliminated.
That is like a true test of, you know, I don't know, integrity? Maybe not the word I'm thinking of. Resilience. There we go.
Resilience.
See, that's why we got
one of 7 words there. Yeah.
It's a true test of their resilience to be able to come in, kind of wash that off, and let's just go straight into this lower bracket match, because this is a fight for survival. Now, speaking of Underworld X, we've actually seen throughout the challenge season as well, Eric, that, you know, they're kind of an all or nothing team, aren't they? They either go in and they absolutely play out of their socks, you know, 14 stars, 15 stars. And we've even seen, but on the other side, we've seen a 9-star result, haven't we? So that's been a bit of a difficult one as well.
Yeah, they are a little bit hot and cold there, and hopefully today they're playing hot there because Method of Madness coming off that perfect war. Confidence is high with them, but then Underworld X really played well in the last one, and I have a lot of confidence in them now as well.
Then damn right, it's going to be unbelievable, because look, we got Underworld X going up against Method to Madness, coming out of a perfect war. Absolutely fantastic. In this lower bracket, one of them is going to be sent home momentarily. Bash, I need your thoughts, your concerns. Given what we've seen so far today, what's the quick and easy fix? Is there one?
If you're Method of Madness, you're going to be feeling good. If you're Underworld X, just fix the one mistake. It's not like they're making crazy mistakes. Fix the one mistake, maybe choose different equipment, choose a different entry, maybe we were talking about. Just kind of get together as a team, regroup, and come into this matchup as hot as you can.
How are you feeling that these two teams are going to stack up against each other, Eric? I mean, obviously, we've seen that they've been putting up really good numbers. They're really strong. But, I mean, who pips them at the post, so to speak?
Well, I mean, obviously, we see Method Madness with the perfect war there, and they did play, but Underworld X also played really well. It's like, this feels like it should be a really even match there. I think they can reinforce where they made the mistake there. I think they know he knows what he did wrong. He knows how he can fix it, and hindsight's 20/20, but you just got to brush that aside, stay concentrated, and get into this match here and do what you came to do.
And I feel like you also need to put in the chat if you want to see the overgrowth spell, because you still haven't seen it, and I'm getting upset now. We're halfway through the day, and I feel like we need to see some overgrowth. We need to see some of these updates put to good use. Go on, Bash.
Remember back in the day, you always wanted to see Valks. You got your Valks now. Now you need overgrowth?
Oh, maybe I do. It is time for our lower bracket matchup. It is Method to Madness going up against Underworld X.
And Panda X is in. Banks keeps saying pips them at the post. What the heck does that even mean?
Who knows?
We'll have to figure it out. But here we go. Panda X is in for Underworld X, setting up with a zap into Root Riders. Seems to be their bread and butter. I didn't quite see what he got out there, but it looks like maybe a ricochet cannon. All the Infernos are intact there. Maybe a bow over there?
He got the Monolith, the Eagle Artillery, and a Ricochet Cannon with that lightning, so really solid value out of that. And then he picked up the defensive Queen, or is that, I guess it was the Royal Champion down on the opposite side of the Town Hall, or the outside of the base there. So Warden did a good job of supporting there. We are seeing the max out Hog Puppet on offense here from Panda. That was able to clutch a triple for them in the previous war. And we'll see if he can do the same for this one here as he dives in the Root Riders with that blip to sail over their head and secure the talent takedown. On top of that, front of the healing tome of the Warden, Make sure that he has the healing support there as he goes at the core of the base here with multiple multi-infernos and the multi-archer towers. A lot of splash damage in this area, and he's gonna freeze a lot of it up there, especially the single inferno, because that bursts through riders and you can't just heal through it.
Panda X looking to take a little bit of pressure off of his teammate Loki. Panda started off the war in the 2-spot last war, but did come away with a 3-star. So let's see if he can get those same results. Keep an eye on this Ricochet cannon and the heroes there on the left-hand side of this base. As a World Champion's just kind of alone, but she's got tons of tanking there. She should be fine. We got lots of hero abilities. Still got a really nice chance to finish this one off.
Using that World Champion as far from the defensive heroes as possible. The heal is sticking onto the Root Riders. They were delaying getting onto them for a little bit, and he lost a handful of them. But they are now onto that now, and I guess they're not really necessary to be on the King and the Queen right now, because they are able to clear out that area of the base there, and they're surviving just fine. He just needs to get through these defensive heroes on the back end of the base. The World Champion's making her way across, but that Ricochet cannon is going to give her a little bit of trouble there. But there's the Hog Puppet. Get the tanking. RC can take advantage. Whoa, away where she's going. She's not going to the defensive heroes. Hogs are going to be picking off by those defensive heroes. Going to slow them down a bit, and that could be a little bit of a problem here. It is costing him some time, but it looks like the Headhunter is able to take advantage of the Hogs tanking, and they do get those heroes down, and Hogs walk out the back end of the base there, and it will be an opening triple here for Panda X.
With 35 seconds remaining, I get to keep back on track here with the time. It's a nice opener for Underworld X, exactly how they needed to start this war. I like that Panda X steps up here, takes Loki's spot in the lead opening spot, takes on Lord Kirk's base, and gets it done. Beautiful attack, very, very well executed, and lots of time left on the clock. So a very efficient and very fast attack here for Underworld X.
We'll be keeping an eye on Loki, seeing if he's able to recover after the miss and the miss that ended up losing in their last war, and getting him down to the lower bracket here to see if he's able to clutch it on this one and make up for that. But I guess for now, it is going to be an opening triple, and I mean, they will now put the pressure onto Method of Madness. But remember, Method of Madness just came off of a perfect war. They lost with a perfect war because of the double perfect, but time went to SE Esports and knocked them down to lower bracket. So they're playing hot right now. They're playing very, very hot. They had a couple of close calls in that upper bracket match there, but then so did their opponent. But ultimately, they continue to triple.
It's like they do continue to triple. But Underworld X, I mean, they came off of some momentum of their own with 4 triples coming into this war. So both these teams are playing really hot. They have the momentum that they need, and it is an elimination matchup, so you can't afford really any mistakes. We've seen that. All it takes is one mistake. One attack could cost you the whole war, and we don't want to see that here, and Method of Madness is going to look to respond. It's going to be John coming in with the Root Rider into Valkyrie attack. Pretty standard setup, no zaps or anything like that. Does a really good job just anchoring the funnel here with a couple Roots and Valks, and then just full send right up the middle.
Well, that's very, very good, because you have those little void spaces on the top and bottom of those multi-archer tower compartments, and that is able to make so that the pathing for the rest of the troops here stay very, very easy. A very quick and simple funnel will get him to the core of the base here. He's got plenty of spell support. Didn't bring a lot of skeleton spells. He had some initially to get him through, but none to go in and get this monolith locked down. But Log Launcher will activate the Town Hall here, and the Poison Tower is going to throw momentarily, but the Warden ability giving the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome, giving him the punch that he needs through the core of the base and giving him the protection that he needs. But Log Launcher keeps on hammering away there. Town Hall goes down, and now this is where the attack makes or breaks, because you end up with troops going in every direction from this point on, and if they clump up with the right spots there and give the protection for the heroes, then it goes through. Otherwise, it ends up going to a hold. Right now, everything is very, very evenly spread. Queen staying very safe, and King working on the outside, but not going to be a problem there. RC also staying safe. This looks absolutely crushed.
This is my favorite approach with this attack. No nonsense, no craziness, just full send it right in there and crush the base. John gets this one done in a hurry with over a minute remaining, maybe a minute and a half by the time he gets this done. He's got the storage there, so he's got to backtrack a little bit.
Fine.
But still plenty of time remaining on the clock as the Queen and other heroes will come in here and finish us up with about a minute 20 on the clock. What a quick one.
Yeah, especially when you run that haste vial on the Road Champion, because even if she doesn't need it to step in and clutch down the last couple of defenses, it also just generally gets it done a little bit faster. And so that extra speed definitely can come in and swing your war in the end here, and it is going to get them an initial advantage. But obviously, the time is only going to make a difference here if we end up with a double perfect war or somehow tie in percentage, because stars and percentage are going to decide it long before time is going to be a factor. So they just need to be conscious of it. They need to make sure that they are able to clean up as quickly as possible. They don't waste anything. They could save them a few seconds here and there, because you never know what's going to make a difference in the end. And with how many perfect wars we've been seeing recently, you got to be conscious of it.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep your mind on. But ultimately, just work on your game plan. Make sure you're getting those triples first, because time doesn't matter if you make a mistake and you fall behind and then you're reaching and you're trying to catch up. That just isn't a recipe for success, and we kind of saw that from Underworld X. I mean, they did a really good job managing that in the last war and made sure they tripled out, but when you fall behind in this offensive meta, it's so hard to catch up.
Yeah, you just got, like, if you do end up falling behind at any point here, you just have to really bunker down and make sure that you don't miss any more, because you just end up in a waiting game there trying to see if your opponent is also going to make a mistake and see if you have an opportunity. And so it can be a little bit demoralizing for the team, but we saw that Underworld X can shake that off there. We saw in their last war there when they played against United Gaming that they had that early miss, but it did not deter the rest of the player. They were able to continue to get out there and play at the top tier of that they know they can. And they were able to continue to triple anyways and give themselves the chance, even though it never came.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate when you put up 14 and you still lose to a perfect war. Or in Method of Madness's case, you put up 15 and lose on time. Oh, it's such a heartbreaker, but unfortunately, that is the way the cookie crumbles. Underworld X will be our next attacking team. We're all squared away here, 3 stars to 3 stars. We got plenty of war to go, so hard to say which way this is going to go. And all it's going to take is really just one attack, one mistake. Really, not even one full attack of a mistake, just one little slip up, one missed spell, one missed ability could really cost either team this war.
But then again, defense could also come from trap placement of being able to predict your opponent. All right, well, here we go. It is going to be Siege Barracks forming one side of the funnel. Valkyries and Rubite forming the other side of the funnel. Maxed out Frozen Arrow right there, and a Rage Gem as he goes through the Town Hall. And we talked about it in the last war. We talked about Loki going through the Town Hall on these box spaces and running the Rage Gem with the Healing Tome would potentially be a better option. So keep an eye on the poison here to see how much damage he's able to do, but he pops that ward in. Yeah, he pops it right there. Looks like he's able to protect himself from the blast, but he held it as long as possible. So he has time to get out of the poison before he takes any significant damage from it. Overgrowth! Overgrowth on the top of the base there. He's going to wrap through out to the outside, and that's going to delay him getting the Eagle Artillery, but it stops the Eagle Artillery fire for a very, very long time, but still gives him the access into the bottom. And then the Overgrowth wears off right at the perfect time to get him in the backside of the base so we can start to target those defenses.
Very, very nice timing here with the brand new Overgrowth spell. Now the heroes are going to be able to go right up the gut. The timing was so well done on this one from Loki. He didn't adjust the hero equipment like we were talking about, but it might be fine here with the adjustment, bringing in an Overgrowth spell. He is starting to fade a little bit here. He does have King and Queen ability. World Champion does go, ooh, look at that haste valve. She's going crazy. This might be just enough for Loki to squeak by here.
Yeah, he's got the King pop at his ability, the backside of the base there. Queen still holding her ability, looking very, very good here. RC getting the protection that she needs, going invisible there with the Spirit Fox, and looking pretty fast on this one here, but it's going to take him a minute to clean it up here. The King goes north, the Queen goes off to the right, and they're going to work their way out to that trash there, and he even had a little bit of Archer. There's a cheeky little Archer down at the bottom there, chipping away, but I think he's going to come in just about a minute here. He's cleaned up very, very fast with that Rogue Champion and the Queen over to the right side. The King gets it done right at the same time on the other side of the base there, and he does get it done, and now that might have been what they need to be able to just get him the triple that he missed in the previous war and maybe push them to a perfect if they can continue their trend.
Binks is rubbing off on you. A cheeky little Archer, huh? But what he did better on this one was he did a good job keeping everything in the middle, keeping everything together. And that Overgrowth spell, if you're new, if you haven't seen it yet, because it literally just came out this week, what it does is it takes everything in that radius and it stops it from attacking. On the contrary to that, none of his troops are going to attack it, so they'll go by it. But he timed it so nicely that the Overgrowth locked up the Igor artillery and some of those defenses, and then as it faded off, everything kind of surged into that compartment and was able to take it on. So a very nice use of the Overgrowth spell, our first use of the Overgrowth spell, and Loki gets redemption and gets a 3-star.
I like that though, like being able to lock out the Eagle artillery for the entire approach. That makes
It's like almost 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, yeah, 28 seconds at max level there, it locks it down. So he's able to make so that that is not firing down, because the whole point of that funnel there is to get all those root riders to group up and push through that town hall. And if you're pushing through as a group and you're taking Eagle artillery strikes there when you don't have a healing tome, then you need the extra support there. You need something to stop that Eagle artillery fire, or it's gonna wreck you, because if it's hitting all those root riders, then it's taking them down in droves, and it could really stop your attack in its tracks when you get to the backside of the base there and lose all that tanking.
Yeah, I'm happy for Loki. I'm glad to see him redeem himself here.
In a big way with the Overgrowth.
Yeah, that was
showcasing the new stuff. I love it.
That was huge. Takes a moment, kind of recomposes himself, lets Panda go first, and then comes in with that second spot and gets the 3-star. So now Underworld X looks like they've bounced back a little bit. They've regrouped. I mean, really, they don't need to bounce back. They just put up 14 stars. They just got to continue doing their thing and hope Method of Madness makes a mistake, or hope they can outspeed him.
Yeah, all right, well, we're going to find out right now what happens with that. We got Grom going in. He used Dragons in their war against SC Esports. He's going to break out Dragons again in this one. We got the double clone. We got a little bit of lightning here, and he's going to run the healer puppet with the queen, which is always a very good idea if she's going to work on the flank, but he needs to get the town hall down and all of the buildings around it, and he's going to probably drop out a clone bomb right there with, I would assume, a bunch of blues. Probably a bunch of blues, but he is running the haste vial with the Royal Gem on the Royal Champion, so she can provide a lot of cleanup on the backside there and just surge across the top of the base, or the backside of the base there, wherever she ends up getting deployed. And we are seeing a lot of success out of that, but here we go with the Dragon. They're not going to have any spell support other than maybe one Rage, because we want the rest of the spells to be used on the blimp. So it's going to sail in now, and we'll see what kind of value it can get.
Warden ability will protect that blimp all the way through here. The sweeper does not push the blimp, so that's perfect. Here comes a few Clancaster troops. I'm assuming there's ice golems in there, so if we can get through and take this town hall down, that'll be nice. Look at the clone backtracking here, so the clones will go through, and the balloons come in to take out these defenses. Nice use of the clones, and now the Dragons are going to surge forward into this compartment that's been thinned out. Oh, I like this setup here for Grom. Very nice use of the clones, very well deployed clones. Now the Royal Champion's going to join the party, and he's looking really, really strong.
He's going to get past the defensive Royal Champion, but he's got the freeze on standby there. 2 Dragon Riders taking out the scatter shot. Dragon gets the job done against that defensive Royal Champion, and he's got it 100% under control. Yeah, you're right. With the clones, the way that he used the clones there, you don't just kind of just pile them in around where that blimp is dropping. You use them like an arm, reaching out towards the other defenses that you'd want to take down. Like if you were going to like take out a single Inferno, for example, with lightning, it would take you 5 lightning and a quake. But if you have 2 clones that make sure that town hall goes down, and potentially other defenses, and then provide tanking in the area, and clear the traps in the area, and they get the single Inferno down, then you got more value than you ever could have got out of lightning. And that's exactly what we see out of Grom right there. And just look at the value that he's able to get there with the balloons. All that extra tanking for the Dragons as well. And it just does a lot of work there for a relatively low cost.
Yeah, it was really, really nicely done, because he also, the way the town hall was set up and where the angle his blimp came in, he was able just to avoid that poison. He was able to pull those balloons away from that poison, provide that little bit of tanking he needed, get to that monolith. Just a well done attack. We are all tied up here 6-6. Time is probably in Method of Madness's favor, if that matters.
I lost track.
I got times, don't worry. I got.
Okay, he's gonna run the numbers on the bash math over there.
We got bash, but that won't matter. Maybe when we get now down to 8, attack number 8, and we're like still tied.
Yeah.
Maybe then we'll start.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll take a close look at it if we end up in that situation. But for now, it is the triples on both sides here. They're both playing strong. Sound attacks there. I like to see Dragons making their way back into the meta there with that little buff they got there with the update. And we're seeing a lot more people breaking out Dragon Riders in general. I've noticed that. I've noticed that a lot of people loving the Dragons. We're seeing a little bit more E-Drags, a little bit more Super Dragons, since they all got that buff there within this last week. And everybody able to immediately break them out there, because they got the buff, but they didn't have to like level up a new level into it at the same time. And so they're immediately able to just break those attacks out without any upgrade time in the lane.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you get a buff to a troop that you like, I mean, when an update comes out, you see that in the patch notes, you're like, yes, I can go back to using my drags, using my hog. Well, hog's got a whole new level. That's a whole different story there.
Yeah.
But like all the dragons, regular dragons, electro dragons, super dragons, all the dragons got a buff to their hit points. So that's why we're starting to see them kind of come back here. And with how fast that attack is, man, Method of Madness is moving. They haven't missed yet today.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do. They do exactly what they need to do. And unfortunately, they were not quite as fast as SE Esports when they played in the semifinals of the upper bracket. But now, let's see if Amoxu is able to get it done for Underworld X 6-6 as we continue to trudge forward here. And it is going to be a Zap Lalo. Pretty good value right there. Getting the Inferno down, getting the Ricochet Cannon down, and the Rage Tower. But remember, whenever we use Lightning, we need to look at the defenses between where the Lightning was used and the edge of the base, and we need to clear every defense between those 2 points. And it looks like he's going to collapse it in at the Town Hall itself, because there's a lot of value right there with Headhunters able to surge their way forward there, get the defensive Queen and King out of the way there. They then get the assist on the defensive World Champion, more Headhunters, more Super Barbarians, and drive the heroes in to go get the Town Hall down. And he's looking good here. Is he running Frozen Arrow on the Queen? Yes, he is. Lock out that Town Hall damage there. He's got ground skelly set there at him, and he's going to end up getting that Frozen up there. King will clear it out, and he's moving smooth here, Bash.
Yeah, Mox is really good at understanding the concepts of a Zap Lalo. Once he came over to Underworld X, formerly Golden X, he's just been using nothing but Lalo, and he's really, really proficient with it. So I love watching him do his attacks here. We do have a Dragon Rider with balloons coming out of that battle drill. He does have to keep an eye on these ice globes, as it could hold things up. Well, I guess just really hold up the RC, if anything, here, as the Lalo gets started over top here.
Yeah, kind of didn't really get the value that he would have liked out of that battle drill because of the Tesla farm popping on him, but at least he knows where the Tesla farm is, and he was able to get the troops that came out of the battle drill to clear all of the red air bombs in the area, so the other balloons move that area can do so safely. He's got the skeleton spell, locking out the scatter shot and the single inferno and the mono. Very, very high value skeleton spell position right there. And now just need to get the Warden to protect the balloons and the Road Champion as the Ground Expos are hammering away. But he does have Hound split. Look at that Hound at the very bottom of the base there. It's gonna get some support there with some balloons dropping in now. But it is kind of separated from the rest of the pack as they're all over to the right.
Ooh, keep an eye on the scatter shot compartment. That is potentially going to be the downside of this, if any. But Royal Champion's still in there with ability. There are bows in here. The bows are getting taken out here now by the balloons. Remember, when the bows...
Hug puppet.
When the bows are set to ground, they're not going to target those balloons. So he's going to have a smooth sail through here and finish this base off for a 3-star. Moxu's just got to get the cleanup going, as I'm pretty sure the Underworld X is down on time. This will be a 3-star, but the faster he gets this cleaned up, the better.
I think the debate continues to rage on here of which World Champion gear is the best, as we see Underworld X breaking out another max Hog Puppet and taking it to town here as he gets another triple on the board. And those Hog Puppets do pretty well there. I'm still torn. I don't know which World Champion equipment is good, but I think that's honestly a very, very good thing for the meta in the long term. Being as the equipment, like if we can have a debate about which one is the best and we can all have different opinions on it, then I think that means that there may not be like a specific best. And I think that means that they all are potentially relatively balanced, and I think that's very, very good for the meta as a whole.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, is like all four seem to have their uses, and I think people are just going to gravitate to what they prefer. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer right now.
The Royal Gem. Everybody's using the Royal Gem. They're just mixing the Royal Gem with something else. And I thought the Royal Gem was be the first thing to be replaced. That's what I thought initially.
Yeah.
But everybody's using Royal Gem and then whatever secondary piece that they think is good.
It's that health recovery with the DPS on the Royal Gem is just irreplaceable. I mean, if you think about it, like the Seeking Shield, you get those 4 defenses down, but with the Haste Vial, it kind of replaces that because it's going to speed her up, make her go way faster, just take those defenses down. So it kind of just replaces that need for the Seeking Shield. And same with the Hogs. The Hogs are going to surge forward. She goes invisible for a second. So it kind of replaces that need for a Seeking Shield. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. Yeah, I think all of the equipments are good.
It's like choosing survivability or extra damage output. And the Hogs give the survivability, but it also gives damage output because the Hogs actually do a lot of damage as well. But let's dive into the next one here. Let's not focus on that too much. Let's get into Lord Kirk as we go in with the zap into Lalo. And I guess we'll see if they can keep their time up here because so far Underworld X is playing very, very strong and pretty fast in the last one as well. We do see the Giant Gun on the King. We see the Healer Pump on the Queen as we do go for the Hero Dive. Like we said, a lot of people running the Healer Puppet on that Queen to make sure that she can turn her Hero Dive into a little bit of a Queen charge. And then also we keep on seeing the Warden with these Lalos, either running the Life Gem or the Healing Tome, and it just kind of largely depends on whether we're going to have the Lalo go through the Town Hall. But usually we see like Life Gem when the Lalo goes through the Town Hall, but I think he's planning to blimp it right here as he sets up for the Lalo to deploy in the very bottom corner of the base.
Barbarian King will engage with these Ice Golems coming out of the Clan Castle and should at least hold them up a little bit here so the Queen can work through. Royal Champion does a great job getting down that Expo. Royal Champion needs to go invisible as soon as possible here. Oh no, Spirit Fox got taken out. That could be a little bit of a factor here, but he's still getting nice value.
Yeah, he's got the Archer Puppet there. King trying to work on that other multi-Archer tower. The Queen is under heavy, heavy threat there, but the Ice Golems are not going to stop her up there. Grasskelly's popping on her. She's doing what she can to stay alive here, but she's going to fall short before she gets the multi-Archer tower down and before she gets the multi-Inferno down, and that area is going to cause major, major problems for him.
Oh man, he has nothing there. The Phoenix will get maybe the no. Phoenix is going to go down. Yeah, he's going to. Oh, how is he going to deal with that area? I don't think he has really anything to deal with those two multis and the multi-Archer tower.
Yeah, and he had to deploy all of his spare balloons over to the right there to try to get the multi-Archer tower to try to reinforce that area, and that means he had none to meet the Lava Hound on the far left side of the base to push the Monolith, and so one problem cascading into more, and Lord Kirk's in a lot of trouble here. He's got a couple of balloons left here. The board is still moving here, but there's a lot of heavy defense on the backside with the air defense and the Monolith. Those alone could shut this down, and they will. It is over here for Lord Kirk, leaving a lot of percentage on the board. He needs to grab whatever he can, and they're going to be hunting for a defense. Underworld X, who was the team who didn't come and do it with a perfect war, are now going to be trailing.
Wow, wow, wow. 80% here, just trying to get as many buildings as possible. We'll get up to 81 with the CC going down here from the minions, but that might be about it. No, they might be able to get this other storage.
No.
Oh, nope, not Mono's in range. Mono's in range. It is going to be an 81% two-star, our first fail of the war, and it is a big one.
Yeah, and what's interesting is it was Loki who ended up missing for Underworld X in the last war that ended up putting him in the lower bracket. But now he's the person who picks up the defense. Whoa. So, I mean, he's getting some redemption. This is a redemption arc for him, picking up the massive, massive defense here. And it was a defense of this mount that ended up causing them to lose in the upper bracket. So that's a very, very good sign for their team. And they could definitely have a chance to go back and maybe get some revenge on United Gaming if they can continue the triples now and sustain their lead.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker from Lord Kirk. He needed just a little bit more from his Queen, just a little bit. Just needed like maybe that multi and the multi-Archer tower, and he would have been fine. But
Royal Champion, she could have taken it.
Yeah, Royal Champion was
if that multi-Archer tower went down to the Royal Champion, she could have got it. I have to wonder if she ran different equipment, would it have been different? Because when you're running the Seeking Shield is only going to be better if it one-shots the defenses that she's going against. Because if she ends up just damaging up there slightly, but doesn't actually finish them off, then they continue to deal damage. The Seeking Shield is very, very strong when it one-shots, so they never have a chance to hit you back. Otherwise, the other equipment is going to outperform it.
Yeah, that's a tough break here for Lord Kirk. But we still have plenty of war to go. They're not out of it by any means. They just need a defense here. T-King is going to come up next, and it's going to be a zap into either Warden Walk or Queen Charge Root Riders. They've been getting some crazy value on these zaps. It is going to be a Warden Walk here with a Rage Gem on the Warden. Pretty standard equipment there for the Queen. Pretty standard equipment for nowadays anyways. For the King, Rage Gem there on the Warden just to help speed up this. And here comes the zap in there, gets out the Eagle Artillery, gets out the single target Inferno there in the middle. Did he pick up anything else in there? Maybe one other building there, a Builder Hut maybe?
Got two Builder Huts there. He got the Inferno and he got the Eagle Artillery. A pretty hefty investment there, but he needs to get the Warden to get the Mortar and get the Expo. The Mortar's under control. He got it out of the way. And the Flame Flinger will push towards the Town Hall. The Town Hall is activated right now. He still needs to test that area for traps to make sure the Flame Flinger does not get intercepted. Otherwise, that could cause a lot of problems here. But the Flamefinger is going to need to take the Town Hall down and invested a Rage after he invested in a Flight to take out an Eagle Artillery. Like, he's already 10 spells deep into the attack here, and he's down to 2 freezes, no poison. He has no Electrotine to fight off CC. Warden, what are we doing here? Warden gets targeted by the Queen. He's going to be forced to ability here, but he stayed alive. No, he gets her down. Was that Frozen Arrow that gave him the support there that slowed down the defensive Queen? Or maybe it was the Headhunters that get the attack speed slowed down. But either way, he survives through. And now they have a pretty strong setup here, but he will be stalled up by Ice Golems.
Ice Golems out of the Clan Castle on defense is the one thing to slow down the Root Riders. Not even stop it, slow it down enough so that these singles can do some damage, the Ricochet cannons can do some damage. The Flameflinger now going to step up and target the Town Hall with the Battle Builders down. Should have no issues getting the Town Hall down. King is on the top side of the base. World Champion's in there towards the Monolith. So he's got everything in where it needs to be. He's just got to get through and finish this base off.
Look at the defensive King down by the Town Hall there. He's just staring at that Flameflinger as it takes it down, but standing inside of the poison, or inside of the fire, I mean, and going to take a lot of extra damage there. But whatever troops are inside will have to go out and support there to get him out of the way, so he's not intercepting troops on the backside. But in the meantime, got to get the defensive Royal Champion down up top there. He's engaging her now. Queen steps through. Queen is able to get the lockdown right there, and she is not running the Frozen Arrow there, but she does have that invisibility vial. She does pop it right there, and an Archer Puppet there on the Queen, giving her a little extra support there and plenty of extra fodder for these last couple of defenses. And it looks like down south there, the Flamefinger opens up. Yeti's going to pop out and get the defensive King out of the way there. Pops the RC ability Swag with the Seeking Shield and running the classic equipment there all across the board, but gets it done for Underworld X. They got a triple. They have the defense. They are controlling this war in a very big way.
They control their own fate here. One more 3-star, and they move on to our lower bracket finals tomorrow. Man, that would be a heartbreaker for Method to Madness. They get knocked down a lower bracket in a perfect war, and then potentially just one miss on the whole day could have them eliminated from this tournament. That would be heartbreak.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's just like one little mistake there, or one little like miscalculation, and it, like if it all comes down to whether the Road Champion was able to pick up a single multi-archer tower, like that would be a heartbreaker right there. Because I really think, like, if you think back to that attack, the Road Champion, if she got that multi-archer tower down, then the Queen would have had 360 less damage per second on her, and she would have had the punch to be able to get to that multi-inferno. And if both of those went down, the Lalo surely would have been able to have the pathing and the damage output where he needed to, and he probably would have tripled that. So just it's a game of inches right here, not miles.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that one. It's a heartbreaker, man, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. One little, it's not even necessarily a mistake, just one little play like that.
A strike or two.
Yeah, I mean, really,
like 1 or 2 strikes from that Road Champion would have made the difference.
And it's that split-second decision. Do I commit like a freeze here or not? You think the Royal Champion's got enough gas in the tank, and unfortunately does not. But here we go with Boone from Method to Madness with the Twin Hog attack here. Saw him use this earlier today with success. Obviously, Method to Madness all had success earlier today. Does have the Giant Gauntlet and the Frozen Arrow there on the Queen. His King is taking out the enemy King as the Queen gets ready to surge into that multi-target Archer Tower. Look at those multi-target Archer Towers, man, with the bows. They deal some nice damage, but King should have no problem getting this Town Hall down, and he does have that Siege Barracks selected to help set up the flank for this Twin Hog attack.
Also on top of that, with the Giant Gauntlet on the King, as he strikes the Town Hall and expos around it, he's able to clear all the other buildings that were touching them, and he's able to clear out the majority of that compartment there, making sure the Queen does not have any expo fire on her flank over the walls. And he does then go all the way into the middle there, gets the Clan Castle pole, gets one of the Ice Golems down, and I gotta say, even though we left up a multi-arch tower, the value that he did get out of there, specifically with those expos and the CC pole, is going to really set this attack up strong. And that's what they're going to need here. That's what they need. They need to get the triple here, and then they need to get a triple on the next one, and then pray that they can find a defense. But so far, everything's going smooth here for Boone.
Queen will engage with the enemy Royal Champion here. He did lose both of his P.E.K.K.A.s there, though, to the single target Inferno. Here come regular Hog Riders out of that Siege Barracks. He should pair them up with his Super Hog Riders, and here we go. Super Hog Riders are in, Hog Riders are in. It's a modified hybrid of sorts. Queen's doing a great job on the top side, tanking that Ricochet cannon. She should sneak in there and grab the scatter shot as well Warden ability goes off. This is looking like a strong start for Boone, but tons of base to go here. Watch when this Rage Tower goes off. That's going to be the key part of this base.
Watch the scatter shot as well. If it's targeted a big group there, he gets the heal. Notice how the heal is prioritizing over the scatter shot. Freeze on the scatter shot. Headhunters on the defensive queen. They're locking her down. RC has split over to the far left there, and she did strip the healers off of the queen. She's making her way towards the monolith right there, and with that support, with the healing support, he's looking very, very good to get that monolith down and carry his team to a triple right here. He's got it. He clutches when he needs to, but they still have to find a defense on this last attack. RC pops their ability and searches forward there with that haste vial, and he's able to get it done here for Method to Madness.
Beautiful attack for Boone. We've seen him do it time and time again. The twin hog attack. Really nice patience on this one. I was wondering where he was going to send the hogs in, if he was going to let the queen wrap around a little bit more, but he did a good job just being patient and letting that queen get in there, get that scatter shot out, bringing in what I like that he does with that attack is he waits for that barracks to get its full release of P.E.K.K.A.s and Wizards, and then as those hogs are coming out, here come the super hogs, here comes the Warden, here comes the Royal Champion. So the timing is beautiful on that one, but unfortunately, even though it's a 3-star, Method to Madness still trailing in this war.
Yeah, I use a lot of hybrid and twin hogs myself, and so getting the timing of the siege barracks release of those hogs is a very challenging thing to do because you're trying to pace everything up and you have the chaos of anything that's potentially going wrong in the attack there where you have to reinforce, and there's a lot of things going on at once, and being able to time everything so the queen charge is finishing her funnel the same time that the siege barracks was released to be able to release those hogs, and getting that timing just right there is quite challenging, and getting everything to join, like Bash says, was what was able to get him through, get all that extra reinforcement there, all that extra damage. Don't waste the hogs that come out of the siege barracks and still have everything clear on the outside of the base there with those P.E.K.K.A.s and Wizards.
I can't believe you lied to the audience, though. You don't use anything besides witches. Don't lie to us. Twin Hog is a very fun attack, but that timing is so difficult to master. But at the end of the day, Underworld X controls their own destiny here. A 3-star moves them forward and eliminates Method to Madness. So Method to Madness has their fingers crossed, and if Underworld X misses, it has to be 81% or lower. Sam X is up, and it is all on the line right here. We got a little bit of a spirit charge here, so going to kind of offset the invisibilities opposite of what the Spirit Fox is going to do here. Nice, great timing there. He's going to go for the Eagle Artillery. I like this play if he can get that out, but is this necessary, or are we doing a little bit too much here? Commits another invis so he can get this. It will set up some really nice pathing, though, for these Root Riders.
And I got the haste vial here, but I don't think you want to use a haste vial when you're doing a Spirit Walk. If you use the haste vial during the Spirit Walk and don't hold it for later, then you end up running out of the invisibility. So save it. Use the Spirit Walk, but then get out of there before you pop the ability. Recall her, and now we can go in with the Root Riders, and then the World Champion will have her haste vial and that Royal Gem to use on the far backside of the attack there, and she still has like full HP, or really close to it, with the Spirit Fox attack, and that's a very strong setup here, and I think this has a lot of potential, and if it does go through for a triple, then Underworld X is going to advance to the lower bracket finals.
It doesn't even need a triple. It's just going to be 82% or higher, and this one's going to be the victory for Underworld X. But I love this setup. I think he's set himself up for success here. He does have to keep an eye on these Ice Golems as he sends the Battle Blimp over top, but it looks like the Ice Golems are down. Watch Seeking Air Mine. Ooh, nice. Warden ability just in time there. The Battle Blimp is going to be in charge of taking down the Town Hall. He should have Yeti Bomb inside of there, raging it up. Nice. Great timing here to get down there. Town Hall is going to fall. Root Riders are still going. King pops to the outside, but that should not be an issue. As maybe grasp the Skeleton Spell, or maybe he uses a Skeleton Spell to tank for the RC. Nice use of the spells.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Blimp right there, because the Blimp not only was able to get the Town Hall down, but also just kind of cleared the way here for the healers to get the protection from Black Air Bombs. But all the Red Air Bombs are going off as he passed into this other side of the base here, and all the healers just got shredded into that back end. But he's quickly getting the percentage that he needs to get the win here, and he's looking like he's going to cross that finish line and keep on going. RC ability still attack, push into the backside of the base. And Expo is having her way there at his queen, but with an RC ability still
that's the victory, Eric. That's the victory.
Yeah, he's got the victory. They're going to survive in the lower bracket and take down Method to Madness after they came off of that double perfect war, and it is going to be RC popping that haste gem to the backside and trying to stay alive, but that Expo is hammered away here pretty hard. But look at it. What's interesting here is it does look like it is going to potentially end up being a defense here, like straight up.
I don't know.
I mean, it's close. It's close.
He's going to have Phoenix, though, and Bo won't. Maybe time. Maybe time.
Yeah, but I mean, they got the defense, and even if it ends up going through at a 99% here, they still have what they needed to be able to get through in the war, and that's what we're talking about. Even a single mistake can cost.
Oh, Phoenix is on the wall. Phoenix had it.
Not gonna happen. All right, X is gonna hold, but luckily they pick up the defense that they critically needed right there, and they still have enough with 14 stars.
Oh man, what a heartbreaker for Method to Madness, Eric. They had one mistake this whole day, and they're eliminated.
Yep.
That's sad, man. That is sad. Sam X comes in with a 99% time fail here, as that Phoenix would have been able to reach that ground bow, barring any traps there. I guess that wasn't technically cleared for traps. Could have had a couple Seeking Air Mines there. But I'm going to call that a time fail for Sam X, as Underworld X moves forward into our lower bracket finals. They will tomorrow play the loser of United Gaming versus SE Esports. So they are still alive. Unfortunately, Method Madness with one attack will be eliminated no matter what happens here.
Yeah, but what's painful is the conditions in which they ended up missing.
Yeah.
The fact that they could have had a completely different outcome if this Royal Champion had like 1 or 2 more strikes. Maybe if she had a haste file. If she had a haste file instead of running the Seeking Shield, then that could have been the difference there. And I mean, that's the difference of a lot of prize money right there. And so that's a little bit difficult there to go down into 4th place. But still, 4th place in North America is still nothing to win set. I mean, it's still a very strong performance here, and they had a good season overall, but unfortunately that is going to be the end of the road for them. But Stay Away is not going to go out without one final strike here. Going in with the Queen.
Ooh.
Okay, going under some heavy damage right there, but makes those ground skellies invisible, gets off of them with the Queen, and gets the heavier targets down, and is able to give them some time to wait out the Rage Tower.
Yeah, that Queen was under some heavy fire. She might still walk up here. Yeah, she's walking a little bit. He's going to have to turn her back, use the invis, and she's going to keep on walking. Oh, no, he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, Queen, get under control here, Queen.
Yeah, all right, well, he's going to send in the Root Riders, but that means, his Eagle Artillery just hit the healers. I mean,
this is sideways anyways, Eric.
I mean, I've talked about it so many times there, where if an attack starts to have problems at the beginning, then those problems start to cascade rapidly into bigger and bigger and bigger problems. And it's just a snowball effect there. And we see it in action right there. He's going to dive the King in to try to secure the talent takedown. And those healers are still hanging on, even though they're low HP. But look at this. The Healing Tome is healing up the healers and giving this attack another life.
King's going to take Town Hall down, so that'll save that. Queen was supposed to get it, but he sends the King in. Great recognition there.
These are good adjustments here, Bash.
Really good adjustments on the fly. We do have a couple Yetis coming out of the Clan Castle. It does have all of those Wizards. Look at all those Wizards out of that Siege Barracks. He's still alive here. He'd Stay Away, still has a chance. Oh, he wants the 3-star here. You know he does, because you want to go out with your head held high, even if you are going to get eliminated here. But what an adjustment on this plan to even give it this much of a chance.
Yeah, RC still has her ability there. She's going to be able to surge forward there with a haste file, but she goes north into the base there, which, I mean, that might give some tanking out in front of her, but tanking ends up dying there. The P.E.K.K.A goes down, and the scatter shot is going to be trouble here. He does get into it. RC with that extra HP from the life, or from the Royal Gem, and she cannot quite take it, but here comes a Root Rider coming in from the back row. There's the War to take the strike. Diggy takes the stun, and it is a triple here. Stay Away salvages the attack, pulls it back in the end. Unfortunately, too little, too late there, as they are down on percentage, even though they still climb to that 14-star mark.
Now, one thing I want to note here, Eric, our prize graphic in the open, if you saw that, was incorrect. I thought it was, but I was like, eh.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, so first place actually does get 20,000, second place gets 10,000, third place will get 6, and then Method to Madness here in 4th place will get $3,000. So a pretty nice chunk of change for their efforts, but man, a perfect war and then a 14 and they're eliminated.
Yeah.
That is the definition of heartbreak for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, with that much difference between winning this attack or winning this war and losing it. The difference of thousands of dollars. I mean, that's what it takes to be able to take it. And you know that every single one of them want to increase their price pool as much as possible. Running for the 20, running for the championship, and they came close. They had that perfect war. They played what they need to do, and then 14 stars here. But in the end, it's just not enough here, Bash.
Oh, it's a heartbreaker. I mean, if you're Underworld X, though, going into tomorrow, you're feeling good. You redeemed yourself. You fixed your mistake. You had a 99% time fail here.
Building off of a perfect war,
if you're them going into tomorrow, you got to feel good about your chances. They will play the loser of our final matchup today, which is SE Esports versus United Gaming.
Monster matchup.
Winner of that matchup goes on to the finals with an advantage. So this is a pretty massive matchup we got coming up here to close our day out.
Absolutely. I mean, this is going to happen right now. So we will take a very short break here. And when we come back, it will be our Season 2 champion versus our Season 3 champion. Rematch after rematch, season after season. These two teams keep on meeting in the upper bracket finals. This is the Snapdragon Pro Series. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true. Where everything you want can be yours. If and only if you're willing to work for them. You're willing to hurt for them. But most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy, and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what is meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series, where four have now become three. Our first lower bracket match of the Challenge Finals has concluded, and now just 3 clans remain in this competition. It's been absolutely unbelievable up to this point, but there's still plenty to go. The lower bracket really does show the grit, the determination, and the resilience of our clans, doesn't it, Eric? Eric, I'm going to come to you first, because What was the key difference maker to you in that? Because I imagine from what you said over there, hero equipment was really the big letdown, wasn't it?
I mean, it just a very, very slight difference in the plan right there. Maybe a little bit more tanking. Anything really could have tipped the scales in that attack that ended up missing there for Method of Madness. It's like we were saying, it's a game of inches right here, as the smallest mistake can cascade into bigger and bigger problems. You miss like a key defense and it can stop your entire attack in its tracks there, especially if it's something big like a multi-inferno or multi-arch tower. And there's just so many big defenses you have to deal with. It does become kind of overwhelming sometimes, and it's hard to keep it all under control, but small things cascade into bigger problems, and we saw it there, and we'll potentially see it again as we continue to make our way forward here. But as it stands right now, we do see Underworld X clutching after they were having a big miss there in their upper bracket finals, or upper bracket semifinals, I mean, and they were able to just regather themselves there, come out swinging, and they were only a single building off of the Perfect War with a fantastic performance.
Right, you are. And also, I love it, Any Given Sunday reference. It's a game of inches. I love it. Bash, I'm going to come to you, my friends. Low-key. The redemption story, and not only a redemption story, an overgrowth spell, the first of the challenge finals, what I like to see. What was your initial reaction? Because I think everyone in Poland heard Eric's reaction.
Honestly, I didn't realize it until Eric called it out, because I wasn't looking for it because we hadn't seen it. But if you look at the timing on it, like the timing on that overgrowth was so perfect, because the one issue with the overgrowth is if you get there too early and everything just kind of goes past those locked up defenses, then you got to come back and fight them, and then you're in the middle of it. But that overgrowth wore off at the perfect time. So it was just a really masterclass how to use the brand new spell.
Absolutely love it. And yes, we have our bracket on the screen for you right now. And it looks like after match 3 of the challenge finals, as you can see, the upper bracket is on the horizon. And who will be joining Underworld X in that lower bracket tomorrow? Time will tell, because we've got that match coming up very, very soon. Because when you really think about it, Eric, it's only 3 wins, and then you've won.
Well, technically, if you're in the upper bracket, it's 2 wins. Because if you win in that first round of the upper bracket finals, you don't let it go to bracket reset, and you could end it before we even get there. So, yeah, I mean,
Still need 3.
It's 3.
Eric, the first match,
it's
this
3
match,
wins.
and then the final match there, bud.
But now,
we're going to watch 3, but I mean, the teams that win the upper bracket finals could win it in 2.
well, let's turn our attention to the upper bracket right now, because we've got SE Esports going up against United Gaming. SE Esports already in that incredible streak of wins, not yet losing throughout the challenge season, and now in the challenge finals, an absolutely stellar performance so far. But like we've set it up, this revenge match, this grudge match. United Gaming, can they do it, Bash?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I think we saw this might be the most flawed SE Esports we have there, as we have some substitutions on the roster. So if there's ever a time for an upset, so to speak, I don't even think it would be an upset. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched just based on seeding. I think now is the time for UG to pounce and take advantage of that.
Eric, you're in United's corner. You can offer them some words of wisdom before they go into this next matchup. What do you say?
United, you remember last season when you were playing in Seattle, and during the upper bracket finals, playing this exact same team, you went out there and got the perfect war? Just do that again. Do that again, just like you did last season. Remember, in last season, when they were playing on stage in Seattle, they were able to beat, when they were affiliate, now they're SE, they beat them in the finals on the upper bracket, and then, then SE went down to lower bracket, swept the lower bracket, came back up, beat them twice in the grand finals, ended up going the other way. But, just to let that happen again. But for now, just go out there and do the same thing you did last season for this part.
Yeah, we still got a lot of wars to be played. This isn't an elimination matchup, but you do want that advantage going into finals. You go in there, and then whoever comes from lower bracket has to beat you twice. So winning this matchup has a lot more implications than just beating a rival, so to speak.
It ain't over till it's over. Let's first think about that, because if you go into the lower bracket, fight back out of it, and then make it through, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Banks, we could also see our very first undefeated champion. From challenge all the way through.
True.
I kind of like the undefeated story.
Eric's spidey sense is tingling right now. Now, our final war of the day is upon us. One clan will go through into the grand final of the challenge finals, and one will go down into that lower bracket and face off against Underworld X. And, possibly fight their way out. But for now, we're going to have SE Esports going up against United Gaming. in what is going to be an absolutely phenomenal match. Gentlemen, let's do this.
Let's get it, Eric. We got a war to do, bud. Let's get over here. Ghost is in first for United Gaming. Two heavyweights here, looking like we got a zap starting off here. We'll have to see what goes on. Frozen Arrow in here does have a balloon. Maybe going to take down this with a battle blimp. No, he does not have a battle blimp. Healing's home here. All right, we are at the desk. Ooh, catches the tornado early. Does have that haste valve there for the world champion. He did zap out right in the middle there. Looks like maybe got out a Rage Tower or another Ricochet Cannon, and here come the heroes in for the Town Hall.
Let's look at the sweeper there as well. Not that that really makes too big of a difference there, but removing that Inferno right behind the Town Hall is a very, very big deal. Making so that the heroes can move into the area, especially if it was set to single. I think it was. And so the King is able to now surge his way in to get the Town Hall down there, where the Queen is going to take a different path to go in there and get the defensive King and defensive Road Champion out of the way. And with the Frozen Arrow and the Skeleton Spell locking them down, Headhunters to support, doing a pretty good job of clearing the area. The King will hold the defensive CC at bay in the middle of the base there after he secures that Town Hall takedown. Keep on moving through that compartment, clearing ground skellies at the same time with his giant gauntlet, and a pretty solid amount of value there. And then on top of that, the Phoenix then triggers all the red arrow bombs in the area and keeps on picking up value even beyond his death.
I think this is a very good use case of the Frozen Arrow. The Frozen Arrow is really kind of like hit or miss, but when you're doing a hero dive like this where the Queen takes on two heroes, that Frozen Arrow slows them down enough so she can deal out massive amounts of damage. Does hit the Warden ability there, misses the World Champion in it, but does catch her all those roots. He's got to work through this Ricochet Cannon and the Scatter Shot. Does have the Tesla Farm on the back, but he's looking very, very strong here as the Queen is getting healed on the backside of this attack as well. Ghost looking to start this attack, this war off with a 3-star attack, and he's looking like he's got it under control.
Absolutely has it under control here all the way into the back end of the base here. Queen stepping through, getting the support as she catches up with the Root Riders. World Champion chasing down Ground Skellies there with her Haste Vial. She has double attack speed. That means the Ground Skellies are cleared in half the time. Easily push her way through the back end defenses and all the way to the finish line. It's a triple here. He's got a minute on the clock right now. And with the way that both of these teams are playing, with the way that they've been putting up perfect war after perfect war, we really have to be keeping an eye on the clock here in this match specifically, as he clocks it in with almost a minute to spare.
54 seconds I had there, maybe 53 and a half. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but I will, like you said, Eric, be keeping track of the time, because we should expect, I mean, we've seen all of our teams put up 15s and 14s and perfect wars, but these two should have a really good shot here of going blow for blow and really matching what the other team does. Ghost starts it off with a nice solid attack, but also a pretty quick attack here, about 2 minutes 6 seconds on the duration, which is what you want.
Yeah, if you can keep it around that 2-minute mark there, you should be very, very competitive. And I forget what SE Esports had on their perfect war in the round before this, but I mean, I think they were both right around 2 minutes. So I think if they can sustain roughly around that 2 minutes apart mark there for the triples, then they should be competitive with each other.
Yeah, I think it was 2 minutes 5 seconds for SE Esports, if I recall right, on the double perfect, because they were like, I think it was 2:24 Method to Madness. So, but that's exactly what we see here, about 2 minutes 6 seconds on the first attack for Ghost. So on par, you got to move quick. That's the only thing that sucks about this meta. I said I love an offensive meta. The only thing that sucks is you don't get to see like some epic Queen charges into like multi-layers. It's really like you got to get cooking as quick as possible. Yeah,
you got to get some troops on the board and send it. Yeah, very, very true. And that's why I think a lot of the attacks like Lalos and Mass Hogs and stuff like that end up being a pretty good attack in these metas. And then the Root Riders obviously can move pretty quick there. But I think the Root Riders, like as far as the attack speed potential, end up being on a little bit slower side. I think is actually like E-Drags and Super Dragons ended up being some of the fastest attacks we've seen. So I mean, there's a lot of different options still that can move very fast, and so they need to think about time efficiency, but at the same time, they have to make sure that they're customizing their army to the base to make sure that they can get it down very, very fast one way or another. But now we go into Damien going in for SE Esports for their open attack. You can see the team gathered up there on the cameras as Damien goes in with the Root Riders. We got a lot of lightning used here, and he used that lightning to take out the Ricochet Cannon, the Inferno, and the Rage Tower. Probably should have done that a little bit sooner so that he could have got that Rage Tower starting to fade by the time the King is in there, and he could have maybe prevented some damage on him. But overall, he's going to connect to that lightning with the heroes and make sure the Root Riders are going to stay together here where they decide to go in, probably in from the right side through the defensive Queen.
Yeah, here come the Root Riders actually in now, right at that defensive queen. Here comes Ice Golems out of Clan Castle. Wants the queen to get this down before the Ice Golems come over. Should get that Eagle down just in time. Does just that. Here comes a Battle Blip to sail over top to get to the Town Hall. They'll send in a couple of Headhunters as well with the Warden ability. So here we go. Royal Champion is in now as well. Shouldn't have any drama here getting to the Town Hall. Tornado's not going off or anything like that. It's going to be a Yeti Bomb to take that down. Queen does get down the Clan Castle troops, and she'll actually come over and join up with the Root Riders now.
All right, the Root Riders are staying mostly together here. He does have a little bit of problems up the top of the base there with the Defensive King and the Monolith and the Grand Warden. Lots and lots of damage output, now reinforced by Tez's popping in that area, but he's got Super Barbarians going in there. His Road Champion is on standby, or
no, she's in.
Oh yeah, I see her with the Root Riders right in the mix there, but he needs to get the support into the Monolith. He needs to get the Super Barbarians to go in there and to just swarm the area around the Monolith and try to take some of the damage off of the rest of the group. But we're sitting at a minute and a half that has elapsed right now as he tries to close it out as quick as he can, and he's still looking good here. He's got the Road Champion, he's got a bunch of ground skellies popping everywhere though, and he just needs to get the RC to clear out the rest of the defense as quickly as possible. I mean, he should just pop her ability. Then
pop it, yeah.
There we go. Seeking Shield takes out the rest of the Teslas, gets the strikes onto the last storages, and it is a triple with 1 minute and 55 seconds was the overall attack time in that one. So it is going to be a 10-second advantage out of the gate here for SE Esports.
Damien moving quickly here. Could have maybe used that Royal Champion Seeking Shield just a little bit earlier, but ultimately I think it doesn't cost too much time there, as they will already have an 11-second advantage over United Gaming. We're keeping track of the time on this one very closely with these two powerhouse teams rather. In this matchup, I mean, I feel like we're both expecting kind of, if not perfect wars, as close as you can get as possible. Let's be honest with ourselves here, guys. These two teams have been playing out of their minds, and right now, the way the meta's set up, they are really, really strong. So it's all going to come down to that time. Who's going to blink first? Now, in SE Esports' last war, though, we did see them have a couple of close calls. UG, we didn't really see too much of that. So we'll have to see how that comes in. Base building, both these teams are stacked with base builders. Who's going to blink first, Eric? That's always our question. Who's going to blink first here? Yeah,
I really like what Damien did there with that queen, though. Like, that queen was kind of like dumped in the Eagle Artillery area, very little support. And, I mean, she had the king to set up their pathing, lightning set up her pathing. But after that, she just kind of eventually made her way over to the Root Riders, and the timing of that all just kind of converging to then start to push towards the Town Hall. So that queen, even though she just dived in by herself there with the healer puppet to give her some punch later on, like, she survived all the way to the end of the attack there. And little things like that, making so that queen is just continuously outputting damage, and she doesn't just dive in and then die out somewhere, ultimately does save you a lot of time, because she's one of your highest damage output units on the board.
And he threw in a little sneaky wall breaker to make sure she joined up with the Root Riders. I don't know if you saw that there, but just one super wall breaker went in there, opened it up so the queen could join up with everything. Just the timing there was really, really well done. So they are cooking along. UG is cooking along. We got a lot of attacks in this one. I'm already pumped up, Eric. I'm already excited for this one. But here we go. Our next attack is underway, and it is Nick with Super Dragons. You were talking about it, Eric. Super Dragons are somewhat of a quicker attack. Does go ahead and zap out that sweeper there, so it's not going to push back his Battle Blip, as he does have a clone spell and Viz. Nick has used these super minion bombs before, and I think that's what we're going to see right here.
Yeah, he does have the single clone for invisibility, and that means only one of the rages can be used with the Super Dragons. The rest of it need to be invested into that blip. We see, look at the defensive CC here, only archers popping out, and that means there's a lot of heavy troops that are inside of that Clan Castle building that he would like to get out of the way here and make sure that they never deploy onto the heroes. The heroes are going to just keep their way away from that area there. He needs to turn on the CC right now, and he should be able to after they come out of that, but he's getting scatter shots to the left. He's getting the Town Hall down. He gets all the big defense of the area down.
He gets it.
And one more strike.
Nice.
He takes down that Clan Castle building, and I would imagine probably ice golems inside. I think we saw about 45 troop space that was never accounted for there, and that is 3 ice golems that will not go out and distract the Super Dragons and the heroes. And obviously, that's a lot of time saved right there that is going to keep their average attack time down as well.
Yeah, triple ice golem out of CC would definitely slow this one down. He's going to bring the Royal Champion in opposite of the King and Queen here just to get cooking. He knows he's got this one under control. This one was done to perfection. He's just got to finish this base off. He has Queen ability. He's got Royal Champion ability. There goes Royal Champion with that haste valve, speeding her up. Nice nicely. Dragons are working. Look how fast this is, Eric. We're looking at 1.5 minutes on this attack. Nick is cooking. He's not playing games. He knows what's on the line here. Skeletons hold him up a second here, but it's going to be 1:34, 35.
Wow.
1:34 on that attack.
Impressive stuff here. I mean, I said you need to be pushing down around the 2-minute mark there to be able to stay competitive, but Nick just cleaning house on that base there with the Super Dragons. Love what he got out of the Super Minions there, and just a lot of things to increase the overall efficiency and get the attack to just speed up here. I think getting the Ice Golems out of the way and keeping your heroes away from the CC until you get that building destroyed was a key factor there. But also, just getting the Dragons to take out the defensive heroes here was a big deal, and the Warden really helped out a lot with that, getting the strikes as the Dragons were getting knocked back by sweepers. But just a little bit of lightning to take out one of the sweepers that you're entering into initially to make sure that Blimp is able to reach all the way in there and then prevent that knockback when you are limited on spells in the Super Dragons. All of that works together to synergize and bring together the triple.
Yeah, we've seen Nick use that Super Minion Bomb to perfection time and time again. That's kind of like one of his signature things here, and he whips it out when they need it the most here. They need to be quick, and you talked about it, Eric, those dragon attacks, Super Dragons, Electro Dragons, all of those attacks move really quick, and with that one only taking 1:34, that is about as fast as you can go.
Yeah, that's exactly where they need to be, and when they're playing against SE Esports, even more so with their track record and how fast they've been moving, and their just record of getting perfect war after perfect war after perfect war. You gotta keep the speed up here, and that does put the pressure on them. And you gotta really think about, if you are in their situation and you do see a fast attack like that, then it may force their hand to rush an attack out of control and then potentially make a mistake and make United Gaming. This is all part of the game plan. You gotta put the pressure on and get them to maybe attack outside of their comfort zone and maybe take a risk that ultimately doesn't pay off for them, and that's how you end up pulling ahead and keeping your advantage even after you establish it initially with time.
I think if you're SE Esports, you just stick to your game, though. I mean, we've seen them have some quick attacks of their own. We saw Jesus do, about 1:30 Lalo in the last war. So
Jesus is fast.
I don't think you need to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, they were already up 11 seconds coming into this attack. So yeah, even if they triple here, they may lose a few seconds. But I think you stick to your game plan. And I think that's what's really going to separate things here. Do you reach or do you stick to what you know? Van's going to come in next with a Lalo attack. Looks like a pretty standard setup on the Lalo. Does have the healer puppet there on the Queen. Does have a spotter over his shoulder just to help him out. Standard RC equipment. He does not have any extra levels on there, but the Queen's going to go ahead and dive in here to take out this World Champion Scattershot Expo and the air defense in here.
Look at the skeleton spell there to keep the defensive World Champion distracted. Ice Golem freezing up the defenses in the area there, giving him the support that he needs. And his Queen's in the middle just walk right in there. And I didn't see what equipment she had there, but I see that she does not have. She has Healer Puppet. Smart choice here with the hero dives. The Healer Puppet can do a lot of work there. The King pops his building down south there. He's stuck in that poison for a little bit there, and it's slowed him down a bit, but he's still providing the support that the World Champion needs and gets his push all the way to the defensive Queen. He still has the Phoenix intact right there, and he's going to be able to pick himself right back up there and continue to support the World Champion. And World Champion is looking to go all the way to the scatter shot. I mean, serious value out of those heroes right there. The entire bottom half of the base there is removed, and he converts what was a Queen dive into a Queen charge, and she's gonna reach all the way in to pick up the Multi-Inferno and keep on going from there.
Yeah, she'll get healed back up even more. The Warden's gonna join these balloons as they're gonna sail over the Town Hall. He does have a rage for the Town Hall takedown. Warden ability does go off a little bit early here, but it should be okay as he's got plenty of spell support. Oh, here we go. Balloons are going over the Town Hall. I'm worried about the back end of this base right here, Eric.
Yeah, he's going to take the blast right there, but a lot of the balloons got out of it, and the heal spell, or the heal tome, I mean, is going to top him off as they do take a little bit of damage, but he's got the haste with the balloons in from the right side. Get the scatter shot down. He's got a Dragon Rider that came out of his Stone Slammer, getting the Multi-Inferno down. And now look at the clock here. Queen was stuck on walls. He's got the defensive King stalling clean up on the top side, and he is starting to cross that 2-minute mark here. And he's got to clean up in every spot that he needs to, except for that top quarter. But he's got the Headhunter that was able to get the defensive King down. His Queen breaks off up there to get the storage down. And this one looking pretty fast here for SE Esports. But I do think that United Gaming is going to still have the advantage on time.
Ooh, United Gaming going to pick up 36 seconds here as that one had 50 seconds remaining on the clock, so 2:10. That is a huge gain for United Gaming. They're going to actually be up about, give or take, you know, my timing is unofficial, about 25 seconds. UG should be up now.
Yeah, I mean, after SE Esports won on the time exchange on the first attack there, to have this one go the other direction is a very, very big deal. And it does even out the war a little bit, but I mean, we're going to keep track of that time very, very closely here until somebody potentially makes a mistake. And right now, they just got to continue to keep the attacks as fast as possible here, and maybe they can force a mistake from the other side if they start to rush.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, why we're focusing on the time so much is wars are decided by stars. But we've already seen a double perfect here today. So if the stars are tied, the percent is tied, that's our next tiebreaker, it'll go to time. And that's why we're keeping track of the time right now, because we already saw our first war of the day come down to time, and SE Esports won that perfect war against Method to Madness. Now we're in that same situation so far. Still 6 attacks to go, but we're going to continue to monitor it because boy, do we love it.
And it's just something that the players have to pay attention to. They're forced to pay attention to it. They're forced to take the time into account, and they can't run slow attacks until maybe if their opponent slips up there, then if they have a miss, then they can start to slow things down a little bit there. But until that happens, they have to keep the attack times down. Got to keep it around that 2-minute mark. Ideally, faster is better, though.
Yeah, what's crazy is our slowest attack of this war is 2 minutes, 10 seconds. That's our slowest attack. These teams are cooking. We saw Nick get through the base in, what, a minute 34? These guys are going. Rigo Torres is in next, and he's got Electro. All right, Eric, they're doing what you're talking about, these dragon attacks.
King equipment. King running
Earthquake boots.
Earthquake boots and Barbarian Puppet. Rigo, what are we doing here with this King?
It doesn't matter what level the Earthquake boots are, though, Eric. They will automatically destroy walls. So he wants this King to get in somewhere, but he's got to get the Town Hall. He's got to get the Town Hall. He doesn't get the Town Hall. He doesn't get the Town Hall.
He can get it with the chains here in a minute, but he's not getting knocked back by a sweeper. He freezes the Town Hall with the Monolith. At the same time, keeping the King protected. He will get the Town Hall taken down here, but at what cost here? Look at the E-Drags over the right side. They leave the base, and this is what I'm talking about. When you force them to rush, they make mistakes here. The E-Drag split, and he's in a lot of trouble here, Bash.
He's fine. He's fine. No, he's not. It's a trouble. He did use that King, but the King was kind of on the outside. That's the thing with the Earthquake boots. It's so hard to time it. He does have the Queen. He does have a Rage still here, so he could rage up the Unicorn, but with that, Rage Tower going off, that's going to be tough. He does pop off. He's got the Healer Puppet here. Royal Champion can still be deployed. It's just going to be these enemy heroes are the main holdup.
Okay, but he's got the freezes here. He can lock out the defensive Queen. The Queen with the Healer Puppet is getting through there, but she's going to drop here very shortly.
She's
The
down.
Healer's going to switch over to the King. RC pushing in. She uses the Rage. He's got the freeze. RC pushing through. What equipment does she have here? Her equipment could decide whether he makes it through or not, and looks like he's going to get through. I guess he's going to be able to swag whatever equipment he's got there. He pops it. It is RC seeking shield. She'll get down the rest of the defenses here, unless she goes for that King. Okay, all right. Well, that's going to slow him down.
That's going to eat up a little bit of time.
He's got the balloon right there. The balloon is going to get the Expo down.
It's got to get through.
He's got it.
Yeah, but it's time. He's got another storage.
I mean, I got to hand it to the man. I thought this was going to be a straight-up miss, but he holds it together. He had the spell support for the Road Champion to the backside of the base there, and the E-Drags looked like they should not have got the value that they needed to, but they apparently did, and the heroes close it out in the end.
And that ends up still being a pretty quick attack.
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 second remaining, so about a minute 59 on that attack, maybe 2 minutes. So a minute 59, 2-minute attack there for an attack that went sideways. Rigo Torres out of his mind, but United Gaming realizing exactly what we're talking about, whether or not they're listening to our genius broadcast here. No, just kidding. But they know how these wars go. These are some of the most seasoned veterans. They know when it comes down to time, what strategies are going to be quick and when to whip them out.
Yeah.
That was close. That was a risky, not necessarily risky, it was just kind of went a little bit sideways with the tornado, but...
Right, but he got the key targets there with the E-Drags in the end. He got the Town Hall down. He got the Clan Castle building and whatever troops were still remaining inside of it. He got the Eagle Artillery, and as long as we get those, then we do have a chance for the heroes to clean up the rest, because once those key targets go down, then the heroes do have a lot of punch there. It was very, very interesting that he decided to run the the King equipment that he did, because you would think that pretty much across the board there, you see, I mean, I think every single attack we've seen this entire day was King running the Giant Gauntlet and the Rage Vial. And that seems to be the consensus that that is the strongest equipment in the game right now for the King. And so to break away from that and then run 2 different pieces of equipment was a very, very strange choice there. But in the end, it worked out for him, even though they weren't even max level.
I feel like they saw something. I feel like UG saw something because his Earthquake boots were only like level 4, but it doesn't matter what level they are. If you pop those Earthquake boots, it's going to destroy some walls. So I feel like wherever they wanted that King to go in, maybe for the Queen to go in and back up that Town Hall just in case it didn't go down.
And the Monolith.
Yeah.
Monolith was right there too.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to get the heroes to go in there, pop that open with the Earthquake boots. Hard to say because obviously the attack went sideways, but if you're SE Esports, you're going to be feeling okay. Yeah, that was a minute 59, but you can make up a little bit of time here. Even if it's just 5 seconds, that's going to add up here at the end of the war.
Absolutely. That's what they're looking for here. So keep the speed up here. Let's get into the next attack. It is going to be BJG Baller going in with the Lightning, taking out the Rage Tower, picking up an Inferno and a Ricochet Cannon as well. And once again, as usual, we need to get the heroes to connect to that area, but getting the Rage Tower out of the way and triggering it with the Lightning so that he does not have all these defenses dealing an extra 60% damage is going to increase the value they can get from his heroes here. But the Log Launcher opened up the base here for the King, and also look at the position of the Log Launcher. Is going to open up that little channel so we can get that. Okay, King wandering off, going off to the far left side of the base, and so what I was talking about is now not a thing, because the Log Launcher is going to be delivered on its own into the core of the base, but I think it still has the punch to get that Eagle Artillery down. Yeah, with the Yetis and the Yeti Mites popping out of there, it should be fine. He will have these balloons just kind of being a little bit of a pest in his, or a thorn in his side, rather. Queen's still fine here, though. She is locked onto by that bow, so keep an eye on that bow. If he can freeze it, he could maybe save his Queen here, or at least get the balloons there a little bit quicker. Queen's fine, though. Here comes an Ice Golem. He's got to get the Town Hall taken down first, though. Yeah, so that Queen's going to get the, well, I guess the Ice Golems went down on defense in the core of the base, so the Queen is going to survive there with her Healer Puppet. That's why Healer Puppet ends up being so strong in these hero dive attacks, but he freezes Town Hall again. He's going to lose a lot of those blues there to the Blast and the Poison. All of them go down. The question is, does he still have enough to get in the backside? Watch that Roar Champion. Roar Champion is deployed over the left side with a couple of balloons, with the Headhunters, and gets the defensive Queen out of the way. And now she just got to push through the last couple of defenses here. The Multi-Inferno doing a ton of damage and will be emphasized with the Sweeper, knocking it back in that area there, really causing some problems in the backside. Slow him down a little bit here. Look at this Queen. Queen's going to go ahead and reinforce him to the core of the base. Down south, we got the Expo lock onto the Queen, but the balloons and the minions are out of the range of the Multi-Inferno. There is the RC ability. Sweep it across the backside of the base there. I think that was a Seeking Shield, right? Yeah. And that's enough for a triple here, but it is going to be a little bit slower than we saw out of the attack from Rigo Torres. So it is going to be a shift into United Gaming's favor overall on time, just very slightly. So it's still going to remain close overall. We still have a very, very tight war. Yeah, if I'm right here, I think UG picks up another 10 seconds on this one. It just seemed like BJG, the Queen obviously getting stuck there on the wall is a heartbreaker, but just seemed like things were a little bit disjointed, even though it's a 3-star. What's crazy is we're picking apart 3-stars here because they're not done flawlessly enough. I feel so bad about like, oh, he needed the 3-star better, but that's just the way it is right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it is crazy to even think about there, but that's the way that you have to play when you're playing at this level. Like if you're taking on just the average esports team, like this, we're not even talking just like average team in general, the average mid-range esports team, then you can kind of ignore the time a little bit there for a lot of wars. But when you're at this level, when you're in the North American upper bracket finals of the Snapdragon Pro Series or any major tournament, when you're playing at this level, you have to keep things fast because there are a lot of perfect wars. Very few teams can play at this level consistently over and over, but these teams have proven themselves time and time again. Eric, imagine you're listening to the broadcast and some bozo casters saying, oh, he only 3-starred in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Only 3-starred in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Like, it's crazy that we have to pick apart attacks and say, oh, he could have sped this up here, he could have did this. But that's just the reality of the meta right now, especially with these two teams. We already saw a double perfect today. We've only seen well, I guess 3 technically because we had the time fail. 3 missed attacks, like barely any percent missed on the day. So
Oh, it's a double perfect situation, and right now UG is up approximately 35 seconds.
Yeah, but it's situations like this when the time starts to become a bigger and bigger factor towards the end of the war, where you see teams taking bigger and bigger and bigger risks there, trying to keep the attack time down. And here we go. We're going to see Super Dragons again. We do have the clone bomb, so he's going to take a very similar attack to what we saw out of Nick a moment ago, and he's just going to pile them all into the air defense right there. He's got just a very, very light funnel onto both sides, but he needs to deliver that blimp across the base there to land on top of the CC. Now, the targets that he needs to take over there would be the Town Hall, the Clan Castle, the Monolith. We do see a couple of archers pouring out of there, but it's only a very, very light amount of them, and that means that super minions are going to be able to destroy that building and take out probably a triple ice golem that are hiding inside of it. But there's the talent takedown. Got the bottom out of the way there. Shift that invisibility, and I guess he can just pop. Okay, he shifts the invisibility right there. He's going to pick up the scatter shot as well. So very, very solid value and got everything he's looking for.
Yeah, and this is already looking really, really fast. That's the nice thing is you run that battle blimp in succession with the Super Dragons, so it's kind of working as the Super Dragons work. That minion even gets a little bit of damage on the Queen there. Remember, the Queen can't get that health back. Now he's going to send in the Royal Champion. This is what I like what they're doing with this attack right now. They're not wasting time. Let's get the Royal Champion in here. We'll just support her with a few spells, and then we'll just push on through here. Everything will converge in the middle. He gets that cleanup in. Agent is not playing around. United Gaming knows what they need to do here, and they are not messing around with this clock, Eric. They are cooking.
Well, not only that, but he popped that Royal Champion ability very, very, very early in the attack there. Like, she didn't even recover much HP, if at all, any at all, as she surged her way forward there, and she just quickly clears that left side there and just speed things up there. Look at the attack time of this one. Queen still standing. Warden chipping away there with the Phoenix. RC goes the distance. The cleanup is fast. He's got sneaky goblins to clean up even faster. Swagging invisibility, and it is 1 minute and 50 seconds there as United Gaming continues to just put the pedal to the metal here and speed through these attacks.
You gotta go fast, Ricky Bobby. You gotta go fast. Agent 33 pulls a trick out of his friend Nick's book with a super minion bomb. Super Dragons clean this base up, and they are looking nice. That was so quick.
Yeah, that was, I mean, we've seen faster, which is crazy. But look what he did with this Royal Champion at the far left side of the base there. As soon as he got the defensive Queen out of the way, he took like one strike there from the defensive Queen, which like you don't get a ton of HP regeneration when you pop her ability. But she went back to full. She only took like one strike there, and so she was easily able to go back. And he just wasted some of the value of the Royal Gem and used the Royal Gem with the haste vial to make sure that she was going as fast as possible. So we get the cleanup moving over there, and just all of these little things just working together. Like as soon as we see the super minion bomb take the value that he's looking for and the dragons are moving smooth, he knows that he can waste some efficiency with the Royal Champion and do things to make her move faster to get the cleanup done faster. And just really, really good spot decisions right there. And it ends up working out, and it's going to put him into a pretty solid lead here on time.
Chow, these attacks are moving lightning quick, man. This is crazy. Now, what's even more crazy is SC has to make up a little bit of time. And with that one only taking a minute 50, this is what you were talking about, Eric. This could force a mistake. This could force them to reach a little bit. We know that Jesus can go quick.
We do.
We've seen that time and time again, but we also see that UG is very aware of the clock, and they're going quick on every single attack. And whether or not we see Ninja in that final spot using something like that, we already know Ninja's a very proficient attacker. So where is SE going to make up this time? That's going to be the big factor here. And do they make that mistake trying to make up the time?
I mean, they got a little bit of ground to cover here, but it's nothing that's like a single mistake there. Like a single, like you think like, you look at like a Town Hall 9 attack and you think like that stray corner hut there that catches them off guard, you know? Like that's the level of mistake here.
Eric calling a corner Tesla?
Right now. I mean, you never know. You never know if you see a Tesla in a corner that throws things off here. But let's see what Max can do. Max, the team captain for SE Esports, with the triple required here to sustain this back and forth war. We'll go in here. We got the Rage Gem onto the Warden. We're going to see the Seeking Shield with the Royal Gem onto the Royal Champion, and going for the Skelly Donut. Now, Skelly Donut can move very, very fast because we can prevent ourselves from having to get locked up on defensive Clan Castle troops there. We can get a lot of big targets out of the way, but as soon as he drops that less invisibility, he does not delay. He starts in the heroes on the right side, trying to conserve time anywhere that he can, but his headhunters get hit by a spring trap and do slow down the defensive queen takedown, but he still gets through it. And the king, with the funnel set by the headhunters, or I guess by the super barbarians, is going to make his way through. And no delays on the Rue Riders as well. Everything moving simultaneous on this one here.
Yeah, and he's pretty much has to. I mean, UG has kind of forced their hand where they really can't mess up. You got to get your setup in, and then you got to go. Here comes the battle block for the Town Hall. Should be, ooh, tornado. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. He does decide to drop it out of there. He does have a Yeti bomb in there, uses a freeze on the Town Hall. Now those Root Riders cutting across. The Yeti might... Ooh, get the Town Hall down. That was close. Now the Root Riders need to get out in front and tank for this queen. And it looks like they're doing that just fine here. But he does have Royal Champion still to be deployed. He's going. Okay. This is nice. He doesn't have much cleanup here, though, as he's going to probably go right past the storage.
All right, he's got the rage that was used at the very top of the base there to back up when that blip got pulled away.
Oh, Eric gets a miss.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He tries to rush things, and he does get the Expo down. World Champion still moving. It's not a miss yet. He's alive here. He's got the Phoenix.
Okay, wait, he might be fine.
Archer tower. RC moving.
No RC.
The bomb tower. The Phoenix gets knocked back, but look at how much health that has. RC going. He's got the cleanup. He's got the wizards.
Oh,
he's got
baby.
the Valkyries. He's got the triple. Mortar goes down. Max barely pulling that one off by the skin of his teeth. And look at the attack time as well. Holding it all the way down.
There's a building.
Wait,
okay, there it goes.
He's got it. It was 1 minute and 14 seconds left on the clock right there. Max almost ends up with a straight up miss, but instead, he locks it in at a very fast time.
I thought it was a miss, Eric. I was convinced it was a miss. That Royal Champion did so much work there. They will pick up 4 seconds on this exchange. So they are still down approximately 31 seconds to United Gaming. Give or take, you know, a second, because we're just eyeballing it here. We don't have the official clocks, but man, Max, I am so sorry for saying that was a miss, but it looked so dicey.
Yeah, but that Road Champion clutched. The Phoenix really clutched right there.
The Phoenix taking that the Archer Tower right there probably saved that attack.
Yeah, but I mean, just a little bit of damage there that was left. Like that King on defense almost shut that Road Champion down. The Monolith right there just doing lots of work. And just to have the need to have to use that extra rage there as the blimp got caught in the Twitter trap, pulled out of the rage that he already had down, and he had to invest extra into that area. But quick decisions on the fly. And he got the Road Champion in there inside of that rage that was still active, and he's able to use that to help get the defensive king down. And just all those little things barely added up into a triple, but a fast one nonetheless.
Yeah, I thought RC was in trouble up there, man. I really did. That's why I said it was a miss. But she ends up getting through just enough. Phoenix does just enough work, and he actually makes up time there.
I know.
Not only was it not a miss, he makes up time for his squad. So we're going to have Jesus and Ninja most likely here in our final 2 attackers. Oh man, who's going to go faster? Now UG is sitting really nice, and they have 31 seconds. That's a lot of time. 31-second advantage going into 1 attack, but all it takes is 1 little slip up, 1 missed building, and they can get that time back.
This is Jesus we're talking about. And you saw Jesus put in a 1 minute and 30-second Lalo in their last war. And so if he could just do that again here, like you know the Ninja knows the bar that he has to be here. He's got to get it under 2 minutes here to give himself the best chance possible. But here we go. This war is giving up exactly the hype that we were hoping for. He's going with the Super Dragons for 1 more attack. He got the Baby Dragon to form the funnel on the one side. He's got the Rocket Boost to form the funnel on the other side. Dragons, no delay. Send it in. He's got that healing tome to get them support. And we're going to see the haste gem again on that Royal Champion level 18. And it's just a full send here to get this done as quick as possible.
Eric, this could be like, say this is, you know, this is a little bit out of his wheelhouse. This could be advantage SE Esports. You know, they're trying to go quick. They're trying to force the situation here. But if this is out of Ninja's wheelhouse, look at this. Clan Castle might get pulled here. Keep an eye on the Clan Castle troops. He does need to keep these super minions in Viz. Does a good job of that. Dragons are going to come over there. They're going to take down the Clan Castle. That's all unplanned. This is all looking good. Okay, so Ninja is looking fine here. Time is not going so fast here. 1 minute into the attack and over 60% down. Ninja's on fire.
Holy speed! Ninja ripping across the backside of the base here. Still moving. RC is deployed over to the left side there to go through the defensive king. Super Dragon supported right there.
Wow!
Pops the RC.
How do you go faster than this?
Yeah, I don't know that you can. Queen's gonna go down here. The defensive queen, though, even though she had the extra healers there, but he's gonna get that scatter shot down, and RC will assist with the defensive queen takedown with the warded under Phoenix right there. And look at the attack time here. Look at the attack time. Is there any chance here for SE Esports to be able to make up for this kind of speed and still pull through? It's going to come in at looks like a minute and 19 seconds left on the clock, and that means the last attack here from Jesus has to be one of the fastest ones he's ever done in his entire esports career.
He's got to essentially do a 1-minute attack, Eric. It's not possible.
I don't think it is. I think you're right.
It's not possible.
I mean, I've seen. So right now, I think the world record for a Town Hall 16 triple was done with Electro Dragons, and it came in at like a minute and 6 seconds.
Wow.
Right around there. Maybe right in that range there. I don't know exactly what it was. I know it's right in that range.
Probably going Lalo.
I know it's possible, though. I know it's possible. It depends on the base, though.
But it's literally 2 minutes. Like, the advantage is, like, it's got to be a 2-minute attack. Or a 1-minute attack. Oh, my goodness. Like, this is crazy, man. This is literally crazy.
All right. Well, I mean, all caution to the wind. All caution to the wind. Who like, if you don't even get a second star in this one here and you just throw all caution to the wind,
well, I guess it could be,
speed,
wait, I guess it could be 1 minute, 10 seconds because it was 31-second advantage. That was 119, so that puts us at a minute 50. So he needs to be a minute 49 or less on his attack.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. Give or take a second. Give or take a second.
What's crazy, though, is this could be the difference of, like, what, $10,000?
Yeah.
$10,000? Is it worth $10,000 to throw all caution to the wind and just send it? Because maybe there's a chance that he can make it work, but it has to be absolute max efficiency. And what's lucky for him is he was able to see what happened with Ninja, and he was able to see what kind of speed he needs to put forward. So he has a moment here while he waits for his attack time, because he has to attack in his window.
Right.
And so because that attack was so fast, he's got the chance to be able to switch his plan as necessary to maybe get through with whatever he needs to. Like, I feel like it has to be E-Drags. I think E-Drags are the only attack in the game that are capable of going that fast.
Yeah, I agree. But it's tough, man. Like, how do you, like, you're a Lalo player, you probably don't use E-Drags.
Right.
I mean, that's not, everyone says E-Drags are easy spam. It's not as easy as you think it is. Like, yeah, there's some fundamentals and some basics you can do, but you still
Lalo
have
spam? Can you do Lalo spam?
I mean, we've seen some.
Lalo spam, you move very fast.
We've seen
if it works, but it's going to fail a lot if it's not set up properly.
But, I mean, it all comes down to this last. But it's not elimination here. But here we go, Eric. Jesus is coming in, and it is E-Drags, Electro Dragons for Jesus. He's got to get this attack done in about a minute and 49 seconds for them to win this war.
Has to be like an instant funnel, too. He can't even delay the E-Drags. He just has to full send it and just spray and pray and hope that it goes through. All right, all the E-Drag spammers out there, pray to these spam gods. It is now going to be whether they get through to the grand finals or not. Jesus is in. E-Drags just broadsiding across the top of the base there. Early ward ability as the E-Drags break off a little bit north.
Get the range.
Yeah, he's got the range there. They're going to search forward here, and they're going to get a good chain into that sweeper. Get the sweeper down before it has a chance to knock him back into the top of the base there. But Blimp is able to successfully take the Town Hall down. Dragon pops out of there as well, but quickly gets smoked. And
he can't pull this clan castle out. He cannot pull this clan castle out, and the king is dangerously close.
That's fine if he can get these other E-Drags at the core of the base there to go in there and take it. He's going to get a couple of good chains right there off of the bomb tower, get that Inferno out of the way there. Nope, he cannot get the chain to get the multi-Inferno, so they're going to be delayed. He freezes to give them more time, and we're quickly counting down here. He's got about 30 seconds to get it done. He's going to get the road. There goes the CC. Soon. He's got the CC down. He's got a couple of good chains with the E-Drags at the core of the base there. Still looking okay. Nice chains right there. Go RC, go RC. Push it in. There's the Headhunters. Come on. Jesus, book it!
One minute remaining. Oh no, he's gotta go. Oh, he's got about 10 seconds here. I don't think he's gonna have the time. It was the best effort he could throw at it, but I think it's gonna fall just short here on time. He knows he gave it his all.
It's going to slow down here, though. He had to get that other Expo down up top there that did too much damage to his Royal Champion to even have a chance to get through the rest of the way here. But I think he still triples it, which is incredible.
Triple.
He's got the triple. But man, he had to do it. He didn't have a choice. No matter what his specialty is, which is definitely not.
127.
Oh my gosh.
They make up more time, but it's just too little too late. That is such a heartbreak, man.
Wow.
That was such a I think he needed to get rages in earlier just to get those initial chains going. He needed a rage in the core. And hey, again, we're nitpicking a 3-star that happened in a minute 30 here.
I need a perfect war.
Right. A double perfect war comes down to time. We will wait for official award, but we're pretty sure here United Gaming will win this one by just a few seconds of victory. I think it's going to be like less than like 5 seconds of attack time per attack, average attack.
Right.
Oh, that is crazy.
What's interesting is when these two teams faced off in the last season out on the stage in Seattle, this was the result. Like in that one, United Gaming won in the upper bracket finals. Then SE Esports, or the same players that were affiliated at the time, dropped down to the lower bracket, swept the lower bracket, came back in and met them at the grand finals, and they beat them not once but twice to take victory on the stage there. So maybe we see that again. But it looks like it is a 4-second split, 4-second split, and in the favor of United Gaming.
I settle down, Eric. Settle down.
I said it wrong.
Eric built the suspense and then almost did the wrong thing there. United Gaming does get the victory. 4-second average destruction.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Jesus, you feel for him because he gave it his all there. Oh, that is tough. What a war for these two squads. Oh, man, I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for both of these teams. Well, not UG, obviously, they won, but oh, that's a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah, to go that far, to go that fast, and then still ends up with that result, Banks. That's absolutely wild.
Gents, that was absolutely unbelievable to watch from this side of the studio, I have to say. We've concluded today's wars. We currently have 2 clans in that lower bracket where they will remain until tomorrow, and one sitting proudly in that upper bracket final, let's say, awaiting their next victim. But let's quickly chat about what we just witnessed in that upper bracket final. I mean, Bash, United Gaming, they came out of the gates swinging, and then initially it was just like, okay, everything has to turn the tide for SE Esports, and they have to just go pure speed.
Well, look at the recognition of what they did here. They knew there's a good chance this was going to be a double perfect. They're all there together. They're like, hey, let's go super drags with our clone bombs here. And it was the right call. They even took a little bit of a risk here on Rigo's attack, and it still works out for them. That's the good recognition of these teams. Both teams knew they had to go fast, but United Gaming just had that faster strategy in their pocket.
Right, it's just a whole nother level of pressure. Like it's already difficult for most teams to just be able to get out there and triple all their attacks there and even have a chance to get a double perfect or a perfect war in general. But the fact that they had to just be completely conscious of speed all the way through the board there, knowing the record of their opponent, and be able to just be able to come to the table and just continue to deliver attack after attack after attack and keep those attack times as low as possible. And it definitely ended up being the difference maker like we predicted.
I feel like their hand was forced in order to, like, having to use army comps that were particularly fast. Like, they were having to use, like, Super Dragons, having to use Valks as well. But then I've actually got a note down on my sheet as well going, where are the E-Drags? And then Rigo uses it, almost whiffs. Like, that nearly went sideways.
Max did too! Like both sides almost had near misses. And that was so insane how many near misses we had, but still end up with clutch triples at the end anyways.
And then that final attack, going in with E-Drags, because it was the only thing that he could do. Still, like you already said, Bash, still putting in an insanely fast time. But we're all sitting here like, he hasn't done enough. Sorry, unlucky, bro.
He only went 1:25 on this.
I know.
Only. That's crazy. I mean, GG's to United Gaming getting the victory over SE. Man, like, imagine SE, 2 perfects, they're going to go lower bracket.
2 perfects in the lower bracket. As you can see on the bracket of your as standings are in the challenge finals. United Gaming sit in the grand final awaiting who will be joining them. SE Esports will be facing Underworld X tomorrow, and it is going to be absolutely unreal. You're not going to want to miss it. Now, Eric, if I told you this would be the state of the challenge finals, this bracket, if I told you this at the beginning of the day, would you have believed me?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is actually, this is almost exactly what happened in Season 2. This is like, that bracket is almost a direct mirror of what we saw in Season 2, and it's happening again here. But last time in Season 2, United Gaming won in the upper bracket, and then they ended up winning the grand finals. But then in season 3, we had it all the same situation again. And in that one, we saw SE Esports sweep the lower bracket and win it. So like it is wild out here, and it's still anybody's game. Anybody can still come back out of the lower bracket there and sweep the whole thing. But all these teams are playing at a very high level right now.
Yeah, Bash, what do you want to see more of going into tomorrow? Obviously, we could potentially only have 2 wars on our hands, but what have you missed out on potentially today, or is there anything you want to see tomorrow?
More speed.
More speed.
Eric, you talked about like this is like the mirror of that season, but in that season we didn't have E-drag attacks going a minute 30 and still losing, like this is a whole different thing.
It is.
I want to see Loki use overgrowth again. He did DM me. He's like, Bash, just for the record, on that first attack I missed, I forgot my overgrowth. That's why I missed.
Oh.
So he meant to have an overgrowth on the first one. So I'll be interested to see if he whips that out. It seems like our teams kind of know what they're up against. Oh, man, it's just going to be a crazy day tomorrow. Don't miss it.
Exactly. Don't miss it. And with that, thank you so much for watching and supporting your favorite clans here today. It's been an absolute blast. Bash and Eric, you've been absolutely phenomenal to work with. I've been looking forward to this weekend for a long time, and I'm really glad that we're actually here. It's going to be amazing tomorrow when we close it out. And thank you so much to the production team for putting in all that hard work and for working tirelessly into the night to bring you guys at home the best show possible. And of course, we can't forget those of you at home. Thank you so much for watching this entire tournament. It's been phenomenal up to this point, and there's only better stuff to come. Tomorrow, we are going to crown our NA champions of the Clash of Clans Challenge Finals here at the Snapdragon Pro Series. You're not going to want to miss it. My name is Banks, and I'll see you then.
Got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have a spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have a spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. I'm on the mission, snap any minute, casually winning. Stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me. Yeah, I got a dream, can't take it from me. My fire's burning, now I'm always learning. Tell me where to go, man, I'm on a journey. Yeah, I can't explain it, I get excited. Keep it 300, King Leonidas. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have a spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast, I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes, I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete, well get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing